Want some rye? Course you do.
Oh no. Hello. Welcome everybody. Blue Avenger Guard, welcome. Dear Mathelico, how are you today? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. I am Bogus Meat Factory. Folks, many of you are probably wondering, what the fuck am I looking at right now? This, my friends, is an Apple II. Look at this. Hold on. Let me drop the mic. See this? Oh, right there. That thing? That's an Apple logo. I'm an Apple II playing Zork. My half-assed cosplay is complete. I am a wonderful cardboard computer monitor of an Apple II playing DOS. Not DOS, Zork. I'm an idiot. Why aren't you green? Because my laser printer only is black and white. That's why. That's why, ladies and gentlemen. And many of you may be asking exactly, Bogus, what is wrong with you? What are you doing this for? Why are you doing this? You're not a gimmick man. And I promise you that this is not a common occurrence. But I'm doing this for the children, ladies and gentlemen. Because this dude's talking about his final cosplay items coming in the mail and stuff. I know, right? So, listen. Look, black and white. I got a laser printer, okay? It's not color. That's expensive stuff. But listen, why am I doing this nonsense? You may ask yourself. One that I'm also asking myself in this exact moment as I do this, not knowing exactly how I sound. I probably sound muted and strange. I'm entering their Jorf alter ego phase. Distracula, how are you today, my friend? It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody. Dream Doofus, so good to see you. Here's the thing, guys. I did this for charity. I did this for the kids. My good friend here, TKK, shout out to the Combat King, the one, the only, is wrapping up this month for Child Abuse Prevention Month with a goal set in mind of $4,500, right? That ended up exceeding that goal astronomically with a number unprecedented of $6,969.69. The luckiest number one could possibly have. And what's weird is that I talk with my hands, so I'm going to whack this thing as much as humanly possible. This is a gem, and thank you. You're welcome, Green Adventure Guard. Thank you so much, guys, for at least humoring this madness. And look, they have reached this goal that was unexpected. TKK came into this charity month expecting to do just a little bit better than they did last year. Bringing in other streamers together to help promote this and to raise awareness of a situation that, in all honesty, is not getting the attention it needs amongst streamers here on Twitch. The organization that he is promoting is a local one near and dear to me in my local area. It's important. Ozone House that provides services like getting state IDs to children who are homeless, as well as offering housing, food, all of these things to these kids who are in desperate need of aid and help, who are typically lost. But TKK up there says, no. This isn't okay. We need to raise awareness of these things. We need to take care of kids who are victims of a whole bevy of abuse and situations, right? And wanting to reach out to folks who are interested in helping that cause. And I'd be more than happy to do so. Because in all honesty, I personally have gone through a whole world of things that are directly related to the stuff that we are tackling to this day. And I wanted to do my part by providing some stupid cosplay as a computer screen made out of printer paper and cardboard. And God help me. God help me. I'm going to do so. What we're also going to do tonight, sadly my good friend Nick isn't with me tonight for playing some interactive fiction, but we're still going to be doing so. We're going to continue Counterfeit Monkey tonight. So we're going to see how this goes, how this wonderful, totally janky mess. Look at the eye holes. I want to mention this here. Look at this. Look at how really off-center they are. I did a really great job in lining these things up really perfectly and cutting them out just meticulously. I really took my time with this cosplay. You can sense the craftsmanship. This cardboard, just to let you know, this cardboard, it wasn't any old ordinary cardboard, right? It wasn't from some, just the Amazon box I saw laying around. No. This was premium imported cardboard from the company that we buy guinea pig feed for online. It's really primo stuff, I'm telling you. Something really special there. It's artisanal. Exactly. It's artisanal. This isn't your average ordinary cardboard, right? The tape that we're using, it ain't no, little, just like wrapping paper tape. No. We're using high quality packing tape that I happened to find last second because I had no idea that I had any. I was searching frantically for it, which I found in a random drawer. I have no idea where, but I can promise you that the quality is off the charts. We got our GP food from Chewy too. Yeah, no, Green Avenger Guard. I get it from Guinea Dad. Oh yeah, that's the real stuff right there. Look at these wonderful earpieces. You can see there's some wonderful earpieces. They're made out of cardboard, and they are taped to my glasses because they don't actually function properly. And in that moment of panic, I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, I'll just tape it to my glasses. That's probably the better alternative here. Do you see this logo? See this logo? Yeah, that's Apple, right? That is some high-grade printer paper on my really fancy laser printer. This is the real stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real deal. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for coming in and hearing this madness. Let's play this game. Let's start playing this game. For those that don't know, we are playing. How much toner you got left in that printer? Oh, dear Methelico. Ooh, we're pushing the limits. But guess what? I had a backup just in case. Look at this. This is the real stuff right here. This is how you see this. This is Best Buy, right? You know that company, right? Real quality stuff. High quality things. I got a backup toner cartridge just in case. I was prepared for this moment, but luckily my toner decided to go through. Look at that. I was ready. I was prepared for this cosplay. I was ready to go. I had a backup in case this actually completely fell apart. And it was me wearing a hat and then just reciting lines from Return to Zork as the lighthouse keeper. So that was my other backup cosplay, just in case everything went awry. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't go awry. You want to know why? Because I do not do things last minute, except right now. It was 15 minutes of pure unadulterated quality time with me. I didn't cut this cardboard with with just scissors. No. I used box cutters, ladies and gentlemen. Real high quality, sharpest steel in America. 100% legit. 100% legit. This is how we do things. This is how it rolls. This is going to go up there on my shelf next to my Uncrustables and Poop Tarts. Handcrafted, really high quality things. I don't know if I've ever shown you. This is my Uncrustables. Uncrustables. It's the same as Uncrustables, but they have crystals inside of it. So when you eat it, hold on, there it is. Boom. You can see the crystals. It's all sparkly. When you eat it, it tears apart your insides. It's a really good time. It's an invention I made. So this is my life. I gotta say, I was really hoping you'd be cosplaying as Herba. I wish, Lip, I could be Herba, but I can't. You know I don't have that beautiful mug. My face is not nearly as beautiful as Herba's. Come on now. Come on now, Lip. So, let's get back into this actual thing. Sorry. Tangent over. We are playing Counterfeit Monkey. Hash, it's good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Hash, I'm sorry that you have to see me like this. I know. It's not the same. It's not the bogus that you know. Thank you. I'm an Apple II playing Zork. That's what I am right now. Good times. Doing it for charity. Doing it for the kids. But Counterfeit Monkey, ladies and gentlemen. You miss my face, though? There's a peek. There's a sneak. You got a little sneak peek. You gotta look behind the curtain there. A gentleman never tells. That was like looking in the dressing room. It's just not. It's not right. It's not right. Counterfeit Monkey is a game that was made in 2013, I believe. 2013. That is considered the greatest interactive fiction ever made. Where it is a play on words. This game. It is a game where you are on the island of Atlantis. That is a thing that has just survived. It didn't sink. And they create technology that has the ability to manipulate the properties of real-world objects by changing the words that they are comprised of. And we are sent in to steal some of that technology and smuggle out a very high-ranking technician. We don't really know who this person is. And we did so by fusing their body with our own into one combined being. We have only a limited amount of time. We have to meet our contacts and get out of the island before everything falls apart. Green Avenger Guard says, all I can think about is 5th grade Oregon Trail and trying to type dirty things on your party's tombstone. Oh, dude, that is my life right there. Oh, that is the best. That is the best. I know a good friend, Redox PDX. They do streams that do some Oregon Trail streams from time to time, and those are the best. So we are in the process of doing so. We started off in this little section. You see my cursor? You can't see my cursor. There it is. We started off in this little section over here in the alleyway. We were able to recover our belongings of both of the people involved in this, and we are now one body. We've merged with Alex, and we were Andra to become Alexandra, and a spy or a corporative espionage agent. And so we have collected all of our things and have moved on to these other areas. We had to, in order to continue on to meet with our contact, our co-worker in the Counterfeit Monkey, we had to go and drive through this protesters that were out in the streets here. And in this process, we went to go meet him. He's nowhere to be seen. We know that his lady friend, though, has seen him. We had to do some things for her. We solved a bunch of puzzles. Our main goal right now is going into the Counterfeit Monkey and competing in this competition to get a special ingredient, this invention thing that allows you to mask changes that you make to objects from any official that tries to find any contraband. And so we have to participate in this challenge, this competition. And Nick and I were kind of stuck here on what we needed to do. So we're going to continue through this thing. We're in the customs house right now. We're going to be moving west. There we are. So we're going into the Counterfeit Monkey, I think. And let's see. It's about playing the game. So infamously, this pub was raided in 1929, the year that the Bureau developed its first meager attempt at an authentication scope, and dozens of smugglers and fraudulent businessmen went to jail. But neither that raid nor subsequent scrutiny has ever shut the place down entirely. Built when people were a bit shorter and ceilings were a bit lower, the Counterfeit Monkey is always smoky and never well lit, even in the middle of the day. The clientele are currently engaged in a game of darts, while the barman watches and practices a sarcastic wit on those who embarrass themselves. There's always a quantity of Origin paste sitting out on the bar. Dream Doofus says, remember the pedestal with the mirror? I checked my game, and apparently the item I used was gum I found on a tree. Really, Dream Doofus? That's interesting. Official Inventor 200 says, oh, I wonder what the cosplay is going to be. Oh, on a list of expectations, this cosplay was not an Official Inventor. Welcome to the stream. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. This is one that is very unorthodox. This is one that I knew. No human being has probably ever cosplayed as this, and not to the level of quality and excellence that I have produced. That is for sure. It is a pleasure to have you. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Come enjoy the text adventures as I play dressed as Zork on an Apple II. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. The world of half-assed cosplay is one that we don't see very much of anymore in the world, and we really need to bring it back. There's been far too many people out there really putting A+ effort, doing this as their day jobs. We need those guys who's got 10 minutes to spare and a bunch of tape and cardboard. Let's put things together. Some printer paper, some scissors. Let's go. And let's just make something really stupid. And that's the plan that I had in place today. All right. So we say, I'd like to play the game. Oh, let's look at our inventory first. Inventory. We're equipped with the following essentials. A backpack, a flash drive that holds some really important information, a monocle. That monocle allows you to see the reality of any objects that have been changed. A pan, which is really the smuggled plans in disguise, because we had to change plans. We had to remove the L from plans to make it pans in order to hide from the police, essentially. A roll, a tub of restoration gel, which allows you to replace the letter that you've taken away, and your X remover. That is an object or device that allows you to take any letter out of words and objects to change the properties of them. Currently it's set to the letter X, but we can change it to anything in the time pretty easily. We're also carrying an arm, some asparagus, a clock, a funnel, a guidebook to Anglophone Atlantis, a letter, a lime, a May, some members, a pill, and some toes. The flash drive and the monocle are in the backpack, which is gaping wide open. So, oh, I gotta close backpack. Whoops. I would like to play the game. Oh, I'd like to play the game. Oh, play the game. I'd like to play for the origin paste, we say. Oh, excellent. Did I mention the small matter of the entry fee? I get out the roll of bills, and he peels off 2 20s. Thank you. Now you pick your entry article, and I'll ask one of these good gentlemen to suggest a defense category. So what happens here is that they typically, when we did a memory, they talk about wanting to make things either small. The category is going to be something really, really small, or something that's liquid. So I got to look at my inventory and see what we have again. Oh, wait, we have... I don't even need to. It's here. All right, so a roll, a tourist extra move, carrying an arm, some asparagus, a clock, a funnel, a lime, a pill. What was the pill? The pill was a spill. Let's do that. Let's choose pill. Select or pick pill. Right, says the barman. The pill it is. He turns toward the group assembled around the dartboard. Anyone want to defend against this character? With a nod at you. A liquid, says a gruff man. You always say liquid, complains one of the others. It's his favorite thing, says a third. But the ante is submitted and the challenge is set. Use... What was it? Use... yeah, let's so we can turn that into a liquid, so that's good. So that's what we'll do is we'll take the what is the object called again? A tub of restoration gel on pill. We dip out a fingertip coating quantity of gel and rub it gently onto the pill with an audible splort. The pill becomes a spill. A winner, says the barman, straightening up. What do you know? The origin paste is all yours, darling. This produces a squawk of surprise and irritation from the defendant, and you get the impression that this game has been agreeably fleecing tourists all day. Pity you had to come along and spoil it. The spill drips through your fingers onto the floor. We can ask whether he has any other games going on. Let's see. Are there any other games going? Ask if there are other games going. Okay. Ask barman. Other games. Not until tomorrow, kid, he says. We only run the game a day. 1 game a day. Okay. So we now can go get, what was it called? Paste. We take the origin paste, a cake of pale purple. It is able to disguise letter-reformed objects so that they don't look like obvious frauds or even show up under authentication. The only problem with it is the distinctive smell. Dream Doofus won with a different item. What did you use, Dream Doofus? I like that we are coming to different conclusions. That is a big deal. So we are heading back to the bookstore, the Aquarian bookstore. So the shop takes its name from the collection of fish mounted on every wall. Swordfish, bass, other things I don't recognize. Underneath these dubious tokens, the walls are covered with bookshelves, and there are stacks of books on the floor where the shelves have proven insufficient. The merchandise consists mainly, but not exclusively, of books, and the selection caters to odd tastes. Lena hovers, unwilling to let us look around ungoverned. At her feet is a contraband box containing a ream and some odes. Greetings, she says. Glad to see you've got plenty of origin paste, Lena remarks. It's such a useful thing to have. Smells nice. Give paste to Lena. We draw Lena's attention to the origin paste. This evokes no particular interest. Of course, origin paste is expensive and hard to get around here, but the ream is worth it, she comments. Okay. So look at box. In the contraband box are a ream and some odes. Put paste on ream and odes. Put paste on ream. We smear some of the origin paste onto the ream. Nothing obvious happens, of course, but that is the whole point. Excellent, Lena mutters under her breath. Oh, smell paste. Josh Graham says, what does it smell like? Lavender wafts back at us. Ooh, lavender. Dream Doofus says, I kept trying to change the apple into ale and the pear into a pea. The category was different each time I tried the game. Oh, interesting. Well, that would make sense, right? I mean, the pear into a pea, that would work. Let's see. Then put paste on odes. We smear some of the origin paste onto the odes. Nothing obvious happens, of course, but that's the whole point. Perfect, Lena says, regarding her contraband possessions with satisfaction. Welcome back, Andra and guest. We could ask whether she has seen Slango. Yeah. Have you seen Slango? Oh, sorry. Ask. I forget. The way that they do this is weird. Ask Lena if she has seen Slango. Now you owe me one, Slango, you say. Where'd he get to? Slango and I were catching up. Bless that man. He's hung like a yak, she says. But he got bad news and had to hurry back to the yacht. Said something about not being able to keep an appointment. I take it you're the appointment. I can try reaching him for you if you want. Yes. This would be extremely helpful, we say. Perhaps I can finally get off this island and back into our separate skins, which would not be 1 minute too soon for me. Very good, she says. She goes over to one of the freestanding shelves and takes out copies of Dyslexic Coalition and 70 Ways to Disable an Authentication Scope. Behind these works of literature, she finds what looks like a cellular phone, but it mustn't be one, or at least not one of the usual variety, because the Bureau tightly controls such items. We hear half a conversation. It's me. There's someone to see. Yes. I had her do the contraband. I don't know. A little taller and a lot less mean. Oh, I see. She looks healthy enough. I'm not running a restaurant. Oh, okay. I'll talk to you later, sweetie. Bye. Without meeting our eyes, she buries the phone back in its previous location. Then she says, he's coming in direct. He says, go over to the Counterfeit Monkey and he'll be right over as you originally planned, and he's sorry about the wait. Oh, and she tosses us a coin. Have a drink on me. Thank Lena. Thank you, we say. We owe you one. She smirks. I got my money's worth out of Slango, don't worry. Get coin. Okay. So west, northwest, northwest. All right. Slango sits on at a dark table, nursing a root beer. Slango is, of course, not Slango's real name. He's half criminal, half ideological revolutionary, uncouth, restless, always hungry for a new exploit. Had he been born into a freer society, he might have become a very valuable engineer or consultant. He has been your mentor in crime and your usher into the world of adults. There's a spill on the floor. Slango meets our eyes for a long minute without smiling. We want to say who we are. Tell Slango who we are. Slango, you say. Lena gave me a totally unwanted visual about your yak-like proportions. Guess you also got a yak sense of clock time. It was an emergency. I figured you'd go to Lena, and I was right. You were lucky. I knew her a little, but I had no idea you two were making the yak with 2 humps. No such thing as a Bactrian yak, Slango replies. My apologies. I assumed that what Brock knows, he passes on to you, and he certainly knows about me and Lena. He scowls into his root beer. Nearly gave himself a hernia laughing. Slango adds under his breath. You left the spill in the bar. Of course I left the spill in the bar. Let it stay. We don't need no pills. We could explain Brock's probable reasons or ask whether we can leave now. Yeah. Can we leave now? So talk to me, we say. Is everything okay? Is everything ready? Can we leave? Slango looks dyspeptic. Yeah, about that, he says gruffly. You know better than to push him and wait. Brock's run into a little trouble pursuing a profitable opportunity. My response would be to ask what the trouble was. What is the trouble? Oh. Let's see. If you read, I might ask about lentils. You might phrase your command as ask about lentils. Ask what the trouble was. Define trouble. I had a pickup arranged to get him off the island shore all the way down by Mayana last night. But he didn't make it and sent no messages. I checked to contact in bureau processing, but no arrest file has gone through. So Brock hasn't been caught. He's just missing. We're all silent as the door of the pub opens and closes and a large man walks past us. We can't leave without Brock, Slango says, as though you need persuading. Or maybe he's saying that to the me half of us. Right now, it's true that I'm not keen on the prospect of hanging out in Atlantis. We're already way behind the plan. We want to complain about the efficiency of the scheme. Something makes you think of how it started with Brock. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Remember Brock. So we have these memory elements to this, right? So that we're able to kind of look back and have these kind of flashbacks to characters and events that have happened previously that give us a better picture of kind of the world, these characters, these sorts of things. Brock's stateroom. It was early morning, almost a year ago now. A dim light came through the portholes. A $4,000 mink blanket covered your hip. You sat up and started fishing around beside the bed, in the dove gray shadows for your bra. Brock put a hand on your thigh. It seems you woke him. That wasn't your first time, he said. No, you were still feeling for the underpants and the shirt, not looking at him. Well, you're made of human after all, Brock stretched and grinned. After breakfast, I'll clear you some drawer space. This was a one-night event, you said. You're familiar with the concept. He got very still. Then he got out of bed without looking at you. He got his trunks out of his drawer. I'm going for a swim. Then we're back in the present. Ooh, love. All right. Complain about inefficiency. Sorry, but I have to get this out there. I was really expecting a smoother escape plan when I arranged to work with your operation, I say. That's Alex talking. Slango eyes us with disfavor. Andre, you got a moron up in your head. Kid, Alex, we aren't travel agents. A dart bounces off the dartboard and lands near your foot. A gruff man retrieves it with muttered apologies. I've got to get back to the yacht. It's empty, Slango says, and I would prefer not to let the Bureau get a good look at me, while your current face is, shall we say, disposable. The trick is, we don't know where Brock is. If he left a message for us, it'll be at the Dead Drop. That's a spot at the public convenience by the town bus station where the three of you leave messages for one another when necessary, usually quiet but anonymous. We're on it, we say. Glad to hear it, says Slango. Now, stop referring to yourself as we in company. This gives us something to go on, anyway. We give Slango what I intend as a reassuring nod of solidarity. Back to the yacht for me, Slango says. Don't let the other half of your head do anything you wouldn't do. Which of us are you talking to? I ask smartly. Both. He heads out towards the docks and quickly disappears from view, returning to the yacht to wait for us to arrive with Brock. Inventory, because that guy with the stuff. Everything's in the backpack, which is closed for concealment. Our pan is there. That's good. Everything seems to be in order. Right? Yeah. Okay, good. So we go east to the docks, and then we go. Let's see. We're headed to the bus station right here, so we're heading that way. So we go south, southeast, southwest. Right, we get in the car. Let's see, east. Hold on. Let's see. The whole roundabout has ground to a halt, with protesters walking in the street and in some places completely filling the road, but this is mostly a nuisance until I notice there are a couple of teenagers handcuffed to a tree. I give the wheel a yank and run the car up onto the central traffic circle a little way. Call it a parking job. We need to get those kids out of here before their arrest is processed and they go to storage. I might not have the nerve to do anything by myself, but you're with me, and I'm starting to appreciate that's like being Batman. Okay, so we have to get rid of the kids, so let's look. The traffic circle. Normally no pedestrians ever come to this circle of grass and litter. The flow of traffic is too constant and too fast, but the protesters stop the traffic, and I'm determined to do something about the two teenagers I just saw now. So here we are, though we probably have to get out of the car if we're going to be useful. Get out of car. I can see an officer making his way between the cars and stopping at the fake ones. Maybe we'd better conceal our car before we leave. We may need to make a quick getaway later. So what was this before? Use restoration gel on car. We dip our pea-sized quantity of gel and rub it gently onto the car. In a blink of an eye, the car ceases to exist. The problem is that it takes us along with it. I've always wondered what this last passage to non-existence might be like. It turns out that there's a rushing noise and a tunnel. I got out of the car, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. Turns out that there's a rushing noise and a tunnel. We travel very rapidly towards darkness, and all around us are other objects, also in the middle of ceasing to be. This is what would have happened if we had done something so foolish. Shall we suppose we didn't? Yes. Okay, that's nice at least. That's undone. Let's save. Let's see. Hiding out. Alright. Get out of car. Hide car. How? The game didn't let you get out. Yeah. Northwest. Nearby car from here. Let's see. Hide behind tree. How? Okay. Drive car. Okay. Look. Let's see. So the protesters stopped the traffic, and I'm determined to do something about the two teenagers I just saw just now. So here we are. Oh, use paste on car. We surreptitiously smear some of the origin paste into the car. Nothing obvious happens, of course, but that's the whole point. Okay, get out. There we go. Use the paste. So the traffic circle. A giant Atlantida statue stands at the center, decorated in an unorthodox fashion with a sign and a stuffed octopus. Octopus. I'm like, let's look at how we can turn these things around, right? Atlantida is to us a bit of an Uncle Sam might be to you, except that she embodies the spirit of the people rather than the government. In recent years, she's become a symbol of opposition to the Bureau. Two teenagers are cuffed to a brown tree, apparently for safekeeping, while the all-purpose officer undoes their vandalism. He has a diminutive affixer. Go ahead, put us in cold storage, shouts the defiant teenager. I'm happy to sleep through all this shit and wake up when we have jetpacks and a government that respects the rights of its people. The all-purpose officer shifts the restoration gel rifle from one hand to another, looks around, and then props it against the foot of a statue. Of the statue, okay. What can I change? Let's see. We gotta think about what we can change here. Let's save. I'm gonna save over the hiding out. Oops. Yes. Get rifle. Take the rifle is what I'm gonna do. Get rifled. The all-purpose officer's right there. You have too much sense to make a move until he's a little more distracted. The nervous teenager looks unhappy. We won't get out of here until our families are all dead and global warming has reduced Atlantis to 3 square feet of hilltop. The all-purpose officer goes around to the back of the statue and begins to climb up the leg, finding footholds in the folds of Atlantida's gown. Okay, so it looks like a precarious business, but he's determined. We can change the statue, right? To a state. Remove you from statue. We reset the device to you. The device buzzes, puzzled. It has tried to create a great Atlantida state. Evidently, statue is too tightly bound to its modifiers and can't be manipulated separately. Or perhaps it just doesn't have sufficient power to handle the giant Atlantida statue. The nervous teenager struggles against her bonds. Gritting his teeth, the all-purpose officer climbs for access out into Atlantida's huge metal arm. It looks about as sturdy as a substantial tree branch, but more slippery and inconveniently angled. Okay, so remove T from metal. Arm. 1. We reset the device to T. The device buzzes, puzzled. It has tried to create a huge meal arm. Evidently, arm is too tightly bound to its modifier. Dang it. 10 not to... Yeah, exactly. Once the all-purpose officer comes level with a gun, to the sign, he shoots it with the diminutive affixer, turning it into a signet. It's an outsized... Oh my gosh, Audio Eric. Coming in with a sub. 12 months, dude! Audio Eric, how are you today, my friend? I'm gonna dance for you, just for you. Dude, a full year. Hey. Oh my goodness. How are you? I hope you're doing well, Audio Eric. We are in the midst of more Counterfeit Monkey. Adjectives don't work with the mover, only objects. Okay. So, and I can't change the statue into something else. Living the dream. Earl of Chesterwick. Look at me, Earl of Chesterwick. Look at my eyeballs. Do you think I'm being fabulous right now? I am being fabulous. I am an Apple II playing Zork right now. That's how fabulous I am. For the children. It's an outside signet ring bearing the crest of the bureau. Okay, so signet turned into a sign. From a sign. I do love this costume. Thank you. It was. Oh, I spent so much time. I spent so much time working on this. And thank you, Official Adventure 2. It means the world to me. I'm glad that people are enjoying the stupidity that I have wrought upon this world. Let's see. So, check out the sign. Alright, I'm trying to think of what we can change the signet into. Right? I can't. Thank you, Mudwolf. Thank you. How are you today? It's good to see you as well. It's good to see you. I'm playing Zork. Actually playing Counterfeit Monkey, but I'm a Zork playing Counterfeit Monkey. Your code looks exceptionally Apple. Thank you. Thank you. Can't you see it from the I got a little symbol here. You can't really see it. Let's see. Can you see it there? Got my Apple symbol on my monitor. Just look at how it really should be. Okay. Let's see. What can I do? Can I change the rifle? Rifle would be Ryle. That's not a thing. Rife. That's not a thing I can turn something into. So let's see. Do the kids have... Let's look. They're cuffed. Right? To a brown tree. Remove R from tree. You reset the device to R. The device buzzes, puzzled. Try to create a brown T. Evidently, tree is too tightly bound. Okay. With obvious irritation, the all-purpose officer prized the arms off the stuffed octopus off the statue's wrist, where they appear to have been fixed with glue. Octopus. There's nothing I can take off that, right? Oh my gosh. I can't get the rifle right now, right? Oh, we can! Now that he's up there. We take the restoration gel rifle, a rifle that shoots pellets of restoration gel, converting objects from a distance. Guns like this are illegal to carry unless you're a bureau. They can inflict unpleasant bruises if they encounter nothing to convert and absorb the energy. Alright, so shoot officer with rifle. We shoot the all-purpose officer in the back. He doesn't change forms, of course, but he flinches and cries out. This must have hurt a lot. The back of his shirt is covered with gel. The all-purpose officer glances around, but we've made us stand so our body conceals the rifle from his angle. He growls in annoyance. Station, he says, apparently to thin air. I need backup. Understood, says a tinny, distant voice. Begins to climb down. Shoot statue with rifle. Let's see. The people nearest us react to the... Okay, so... we fire the statue itself. The statue itself doesn't change, of course, but there's now a spray of gel across its gown. The people nearest us react to this with, at best, moderate enthusiasm, as the symbolism of actually destroying Atlantida is appealing to no one. The power of the people, shouts one of the protesters approvingly. Hello.
Mama told me to get a snack.
Okay, get a snack. I'm wearing a mask. Hi. I look silly, don't I?
I do turn that into a mask.
Using cardboard and paper.
Why?
Why? Because I'm running a charity thingy that I had to fulfill because we raised so much money for charity.
Why do you need to wear that?
Just for as a silly thing, because it's silly. Go get your snack.
Okay.
Alright. Let's see. The power of the people, shouts one of the protesters approvingly. Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Mike?
Yeah, Mike's in chat. There's lots of people in chat watching. Yeah. Do you need some help? Hold on. The station comments the all-purpose officer aborting work on the statue until backup arrives. Situation here is volatile. Negative replies as tinny interlocutor. Statue to remain clear as first priority. This is from Oracle. The teenagers look at us rather desperately. The all-purpose officer gets off the giant Atlantean statue. Earl, yes. Big Mike Kyoshi says, don't believe me. Don't believe me, Roz. They're all AI. They don't really exist. It's true they all do exist. You're fine. Someone in my chat talking to me. Let's see. Shoot protesters with rifle. Alright, shoot teenagers with rifle. We shoot the restoration gel rifle at the teenagers. Alas, nothing happens. The teenagers look at us rather desperately. The all-purpose officer, no longer distracted by the pressing business of tidying up the Atlantida statue, notices us with a rifle. Oh, let's see. He has no qualms about hitting us with a diminutive affixer. It turns out that the Alexandrite is a Goldilocks poppet with a minimal capacity for self-defense and no gun skills whatsoever. We're ignominiously carried back to the bureau, and our subsequent trials are humiliation in a frilly pink dress. That's hilarious. Shh, yeah, providing the information is forbidden. Hi, Mike, by the way. How are you? I'm Zorik! In a really, really wonderful... Look at this. I mean, this is high-quality stuff. You guys would all admit, right? Big Mike, Ocho, Earl, Mike, everybody. Modwolf, fantastic quality work here, right? This is high-quality things. Let me close this door. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Let's restore. I'm gonna restore my last thing, which was hiding out. Let's see. Rub paste on car. Okay, so get out of car. Total quick college Halloween party vibes. Exactly, Big Mikey Ocho. That's the deal. Dream Doofus says non-fatal game over. Yeah. I mean, that was careless is what it says. Yeah. Let's see. So he has climbed for access onto the Atlantida's huge metal arm. So get rifle. Shoot. Let's see. Shoot the sign with rifle. Shoot rifle with sign. No, wait. Oh, shoot signet with rifle. We shoot the restoration gel rifle at the signet. With an honorable splort, the signet becomes a sign. The all-purpose officer glances around, but you've made it a stand so her body conceals the rifle from this angle. He growls in annoyance. Station, he says, apparently to thin air, I need backup. Forced to repeat himself, the all-purpose officer jams the diminutive affixer into the sign a little harder than strictly necessary, with predictable results. It's an outsized signet again, but there's no bureau crest. This time it carries the symbol of the University of Atlantis. There are a lot of students in this crowd, and maybe the all-purpose officer is not able to exert much local field influence on the transformation with so many others around. Shoot arm with rifle. We fire the statue itself. It doesn't change, yeah. Let's see. I don't know what I can do here. Like, what? I have this rifle. Shoot interlocutor with rifle. Nope. Shoot a fixer with rifle. You take exact aim and fire. The diminutive affixer doesn't change into anything, but thanks to the impact, the officer misfires it into a leaf from Atlantida's olive branch. A single leaflet flutters to the ground. The protesters are cheering and stamping their feet. People in the cars are honking. The all-purpose officer tries to crane his head around and see who exactly is making all the trouble, but he quickly realizes he can't do that and hold on at the same time. The teenagers look at us rather desperately. Yemetz, he swears the all-purpose officer daringly. Did not copy say again? Asked the tiny invisible radio. Did Oracle happen to say why the statue was top priority? Asked the officer. That's a negative, responds the radio. The all-purpose officer clambers back onto the arm. Shoot officer with rifle. He says, we shoot the all-purpose officer in the back. He doesn't change forms, but he's covered in gel. Station, growls the all-purpose officer into thin air. I'm underpowered and backup is not arriving. We need 3 vans and a DP tank. His face is shiny with sweat. Tosses the octopus away. It falls pathetically to the earth. Let's see. Look at statue. Okay. Is a signet. DP tank? Confirm request, insists the tinny radio. That's what I said, the all-purpose officer responds. I'll have to clear this with herself, the radio complains. Stony faced with fury, the all-purpose officer punches the sign again with the diminutive affixer. This time the signet depicts, well, I can't imagine this is a common heraldic device, but I think I'd call it a squid rampant? The crowd has taken control of the imagery. Let's see. Shoot affixer with rifle. You shoot again very precisely. The diminutive affixer doesn't change into anything. But the impact jars the officer's hand and the affixer punches firmly into the statue. The statue scales down abruptly into a 10-inch statuette. The officer falls with it, though apparently without serious injury. The crowd goes silent, unsure what to do. From the point of view, the total disappearance of a major landmark. The officer realizes that something unthinkable has just happened and gels the statue at once. The status quo is thus restored, more or less, except that the officer is now clinging precariously to the statue's arm. Tormented, the all-purpose officer seems beyond speech, while the crowd has lost interest in the symbolic potency of the statue and is starting to lapse back into irritability. You overhear someone asking where to find soft-serve ice cream. From far off, there's a rumbling of heavy vehicles approaching. There's a bright light and a catastrophic bang, and world goes eerily silent. The protesters are gone, all but one. A policeman in blue is cuffing a single old woman in a not guilty shirt. Her eyes are wild with fury and fear and simple madness. And that, my friend, is why civil disobedience doesn't work around here. We've just seen a depluralization. Let's see. Whoa. You know, they'll be restored in a few hours, but not confined to that singular form. Most of them will probably get off with fines, except the teenagers who have committed specific crimes against the majesty of the state. You know it's unlikely anyone has died just there. You know that within minutes, the international news organizations will be running satellite pictures of a suspected depluralizing event on the island. It's not, so to speak, our business anymore. We ditched the rifle. It's too large to fit in the car. Traffic's starting to move again. We better get on to the dead drop. We get into the car. Really? Oh, man. Obey and eat your soft-serve ice cream. We could do better, right? Because we could help the teens. So I'm gonna restore. Get out of car. Right? Oh. Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. Nervous teens look unhappy. We can't get out of here until our families are all dead in global warming. Yeah. Let's see. Get rifle. Let's see. Shoot bonds with rifle. One of the other protesters tries to free the teenagers while the all-purpose officer isn't paying attention, but the bonds are too strong. Okay, so, remove N from bonds. We reset the device to N. Oh, teenagers. Oh, okay. Well, we can't remove this stuff for teenagers. I didn't mean to remove that. Okay, so let's see. You sound really good for being inside a box, but thank you, Hesh. It's just the quality, the high quality of the microphone and the cosplay form here. I really took into consideration the ability to sound wonderfully in this process. It really was me just taking all things into account. Talk to teenagers. We try shouting them over the hubbub of the crowd, but it doesn't really work. The defiant one waggles her tongue at us obscenely. Get octopus. We get this stuffed octopus slightly wrong, actually, but I suppose they didn't have a stuffed squid handy. Of the four symbols associated with Atlantis, the squid, representing invention and individuality, is the one that has the greatest resonance with protesters. Shoot squid with rifle. Shoot octopus with rifle. Let's see. Throw octopus at officer. Let's see. Yeah, we got hit. Yes. Earl says, surprisingly, since the Apple II series, computers lacked any serious built-in sound capabilities. This is true, Earl. Oh, I'm sorry, I failed the quality of the build there in the end. Okay, what do I do? I can't change the statue. And let me look at the rifle. Pellets of restoration gel, converting objects from a distance. Shoot. Signet with rifle. Power the people shows one of the protesters. Let's see. He begins to climb the Atlantida once more. Let's see. Remove D from Atlantida. And it tries to create a great, giant Atlantia statue. Okay. Let's see. All the people are getting mad and rowdy. So the sign, remove G from sign. The concept strangely embodied in a physical form isn't tuned to, yeah, it's abstracts, yeah. He jams the image of a fixture into the sign a little harder. Shoot sign with rifle. Shoot. Signet with rifle. Shoot. Signet with a rifle. Just keep doing this. He punches the sign again with the animated picture of the squid ramp in his back. Shoot. Signet with rifle. I really don't know what to do here. So everybody gets depluralized. And I can continue moving. Oh, man, that sucks. Okay, so let's just, yeah, let's, okay. The origin paste, it turns things back to what it was originally. And so we have a rifle that does the same thing. The rifle's out of gel pellets. It clicks uselessly in your hands. And so, yeah, I'm like trying to figure that out. I thought that was the restoration gel. Oh, so yeah, so the rifle has restoration. Oh wait, hold on, you might be right. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the paste removes the ability to be seen as something contraband. Like put rub. Yeah. Paste on sign. Signs out of reach. Okay. Climb statue. It's out of reach. Get rifle. Shoot metal arm with rifle. No, that's the statue. It says the statue, so shoot. Let's see. No bureaucrust. This is tricky, man. I don't really know what I'm able to interact with here, because when you look, right, it just says there's the statue with the stuffed octopus. I say maybe I could change it from a stuffed octopus to something else. If the letter's been removed to make another object, an authentication scope can identify it, but the paste will mask it, yeah. Look at octopus with monocle. Oh, shoot. Open backpack. Look at octopus with monocle. It pings happily, so that's normal. That's a normal thing. Got signet with monocle. Yeah, that's the sign. Look at officer with monocle. Look at... Oh, shoot. Yeah. Look at tree with monocle. Of a brown tea. Okay. Shoot. Okay, yes. Shoot tree with rifle. With an honorable sport, the brown tree becomes a brown tea. It's a brown wooden peg. See, I tried to turn the brown tree into a brown tea already. And it was like, no. It's a brown wooden peg for putting a golf ball on. Apparently, the all-purpose officer performed a little light R insertion when he found himself in need of a portable tree. Freed from attachment to the tree, the teenagers look at each other and then run off into the crowd. After a moment, the defiant one comes back, picks up the stuffed octopus, and re-enters the fray. "Power the people!" shouts one of the protesters approvingly. "Station," comments the all-purpose officer, "aborting work on the statue until backup arrives." "Negative," replies the tiny interlocutor. Yep. He no longer distracted by the presence of businesses tied up the Atlanta statue. Notices us with the rifle. He has no qualms about... Okay, so let's restore. Okay. Shoot tree with rifle. Oh, get rifle. That's right. Get rifle. Shoot tree with rifle. So, freed from the attachment of the tree, the teenagers look at each other and run off. The officer glances around, but you've made a stand so our body conceals the rifle. The letter remover targeted the R and brown as well as tree, but they apparently found another way to modify it, so we need to use the rifle. I see, that makes sense. It's an outside signet bearing the crest of the bureau. Okay, so drop. Alright, shoot signet. I just want to shoot the signet with rifle again. Okay, drop rifle. We drop the rifle back at the foot of the statue. The crowd is parting. We'll be able to leave soon. Laboriously and with obvious irritation, the all-purpose officer pries the arms of the stuffed octopus in the statue. And then we'll wait. Alright, let's get the octopus. Oh, get octopus. We take the stuffed octopus. Slightly wrong, actually, but I suppose they didn't have a stuffed squid. Yeah. Just wait. The all-purpose officer gets off the giant Atlanta statue. The situation is calming down. Traffic is starting to move, and the car behind ours is not delighted that someone is parked in front of it. We get into the car. I have to say that was impressive. I wouldn't have had the nerve and focus for that on my own, and I can't shoot either, but we'd better get on the dead drop. Cool. Alright, so we want to go east. Tall Street. There we go. I think that's better, even though it didn't really affect anything. I'm guessing that having the octopus might be helpful. Maybe. We're jammed into the car with our knees almost at our chin, looking out through the bulbous little windshield. The traffic flows in a tight circle around a statue, which we all know all too well. We're jammed into the car. Yep, okay. The motor's growling like a house cat with pneumonia. The tall street is very quiet. No celebrations have reached this far. And neither is there any business today, so it has an air of dull abandonment. At the east end of the street, it bends to go around an old park rarely visited. To the south is the important blue rotunda of the Bureau of Orthography. The street runs west towards the busy roundabout. The car is making an unpleasant raspy sound. So east. Abandoned park. Where's my water? Water! I gotta keep parched. That was an interesting puzzle. In contrast with the parks in the more savory parts of town, this is a bit of patchy grass where local dogs occasionally come out to do their business. A granite war memorial is fixed at the center, which is why tourist maps optimistically call the place Monument Green. But the memorial is only moderately monumental, and the grass hardly green at all. We step on a twig before we get back away again. It is a place that might have been developed long ago. Only it is known that there are remains of Roman settlement here, and there's a risk that digging out the foundations would turn up some of those ruins, exposing a large number of Latin language objects to the light of day. To prevent this catastrophe, the whole area has been placed off limits to development. We can go southeast and west of Tall Street from here. Southeast to the station. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Oh, hold on. Northwest. A twig. Remove W from, oh, sorry, T from twig. It's a surprisingly realistic wig. Cut to about the shoulder. It looks like our hair, but a good bit longer. Get wig. There we go. We gotta get that wig. A currently desolate depot from which buses run seasonally to Mayana, the island's other major town. The old station building is a low, rectilinear edifice from the 60s, all pebbled concrete and sheet glass, but it's shut, leaving accessible only a series of empty bus bays and a wall-mounted schedule. The public convenience to the east is the only thing open, while the area to the northwest is open parkland. A dove flutters from one service to another, occasionally stopping to stare at us. A shed, rather ramshackle and unlikely, sits on the pavement where it ought to be in the way of oncoming buses. Something makes you think of leaving your family for the last time. Ooh. Dream Doofus, who do you want to have receive a compliment? Thank you so much for the redemption for that. Remember leaving your family. The bus stop. Your suitcase was next to your leg. It was nearly 3 a.m. There were 30 more minutes before the bus would take you to San Francisco. Your mother would have warned you not to be in a place like that alone so late at night, but it didn't feel then like anything that could happen to you would be worse than your mother's behavior and her anger. Then we're back in the present. Let's see. Remove V from dove. The dove flickers and there's a brief image of a doe in its place. That's right. Prevent generating any living creature. Because a dove, we couldn't turn into anything else. I just thought that was funny. Okay, so a shed sits on the pavement where it ought to be in the way of enter shed. It's locked, but I doubt there's anything inside but possibly a few used blankets. Okay, so let's look at schedule. The schedule's an intricate affair, and the deciphering of the various letter codes and footnotes was actually a subject of study in my grade school. The buses run every 62 minutes during daylight in the winter, every 43 minutes in summer, with every third bus running as an express without stops if the passengers of this bus do not vote otherwise. During the run of the school year, there's an extra inbound bus in the morning and outward in the afternoon. Contrariwise, the bus is on half schedule Sundays and holidays, except major patriotic holidays when there's no bus at all, like today. Roger Tree says, you are a fine, upstanding member of the community, Dream Doofus. Indeed. From you to me, I honestly don't know how Twitch works. Oh, but yeah, so if you want to receive a compliment, my friend, by all means, Dream Doofus, here's the thing. Dream Doofus, you've come in here. You joined the Interactive Fiction Club, which is my monthly interactive fiction / text adventure Game of the Month club. You came in pretty recently. You had a lot of inquisitiveness and a lot of great opinions and interests, and a wonderful member of that community within which I am greatly appreciative of. There you are. It's true. Roger Tree is correct. And by the way, how's it going, Roger? It's good to see you as well, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing well. You can also make it be a compliment to someone else if you want to. I can give the compliments to anybody. We love compliments. So let's see. So we're looking at the bus stop. Let's see. So something makes you think of leaving family at home. Let's keep going east. We can keep moving, right? Yeah, public convenience. They're just the 2 toilet stalls and a couple of sinks, but the place has been kept up reasonably well, if one doesn't count the graffiti. A soap dispenser hangs beside the mirror. A soap dispenser. A sap dispenser. Ooh. About knee height in one of the stalls is a hole that runs right through the wall between the men's and women's restrooms. It's here that you and Brock and Slango usually leave things for one another. A faint smell of lavender lingers in the air. somebody is hiding something here. Okay. So look in hole. First, there doesn't seem to be anything in there, but when we put our finger in, we find it's full of ash. So let's see. Use gel on ash. We just touch a coated fingertip of gel to the ash. With an audible splort, the ash becomes some trash. Most of it's junk. Sweet wrappers, tissues, bus tickets, but there's also suggestively an appointment card for Arbo, Maps and Antiques. Gift card. Oh. Look at card. Bogus frequently speaks of his love for all the doofs in games. By having doof in your name, you've already engendered immediate appreciation from our fantastic host. Lip, you couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. I love the doofs. What I mean by that is always, in games, there are these characters or creatures that are very unloved because, one, they look silly, or two, they aren't efficient. They aren't the most, beloved and the best. They aren't the ones that are mostly embraced. Those are the doofs of the world. And I love me some doofs. Because typically, they're just as viable as any other thing in a game. Like, for instance, if you're playing Pokemon, there's lots of doofs in Pokemon that people never use in their team. But they're very viable. They're fun. I use lots of weird Pokemon in my parties when I play those games. And that's kind of where it arose, because the Pokemon Bidoof, and that's where I was like, I love me some doofs. Some doofs. And so that stuff's always a big thing for me. I love that stuff so much. To be honest, it was just a username I chose when I joined Discord. It's only recently I started using Discord for anything more than messaging a single friend. Well, I'm glad that you decided to at least use a portion of Discord for a place that I call home. Like, it's interesting, right? Because for a lot of people, and they don't realize this. They don't realize this at all when they do these sorts of things, right? I'm a person who loves to foster community, foster connection with other people. I play MMORPGs a lot, which are multiplayer games that really have a major social aspect to them, but there's a lot of people that hide from that social aspect. I love just talking about video games in general and listening to folks talk about video games. And so when somebody takes a moment to step into that realm, that goes into my Twitch, steps into YouTube or on my Discord, and just engages with me in any way, and that's their time, and that's precious, and that to me means so much. The fact that any person's willing to, one, hear anything that I have to say, which is, a bunch of me just talking out my ass, but talking about passionately about games in general, but also, two, feeling that it is a safe and welcoming place that they can come into and enthuse about games. That's the most important thing. That's the biggest thing. I want to provide a place that allows people of all walks of life and the ability to enjoy any genre of game, the ability to come in here and be excited about stuff, be genuinely excited about stuff, right? Because so many times, how many places on the internet do you go where there are people that are going to sit there and judge you based on the things that you like or enjoy, or sit there and try to diminish your interests compared to their own personal opinion? And that stuff's really terrible. That stuff's terrible when people behave that way. And so for me, I'm very outspoken about that. I'm very outspoken about being like, I'm a person who loves to listen to folks and gather perspective and welcome people in, because I feel that people's opinions and perspectives, even if they don't align with mine personally, are valuable. So like, you're like, I don't really use it. I really started only recently using Discord for anything more than messaging a friend. And the fact that you're like, I'm going to go join this one Discord here that includes me in this, that's a big deal. That means a lot. So I do appreciate that. Anyway, sorry. We're looking at the card. Official Inventor says, as someone who is socially skittish, this is a very wonderful pocket of the internet to find. Well, I'm glad. That makes my day. Because, like, I really love reaching out to those folks who are socially skittish, like yourself, Official Inventor, and being like, hey, it's okay. Like, it's okay. You're in a spot that, like, it's safe to not be worried about that stuff. When I play games and I play with other people, I like to pull folks out of their comfort zone in a way that will make them comfortable, right? and be like, come with me on this adventure. Just come with me on this ride. You're going to be okay. You don't have to do anything but come on this adventure with me and just follow along. And you don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. But I want to share this with you. I want to share these things with you. The games that I pick to play are the games that I think are worthwhile and seen from a perspective that I feel is important and interesting. And so, like, I want to bring people into that world and to let them know, like, hey, the rest of this space of the internet, right, can be a wild and unpredictable place. And when you go into these channels, you go into these other communities, right, no one outwardly just says, hi, this space is safe for you. This safe place is legitimately welcoming. This space is legitimately catered to folks like you who are worried or concerned about fitting in or feeling welcome. Whenever I enter a community for the first time, I'm in a lot of different online communities because I find them to be very fascinating and interesting. So I join communities for game projects and like private servers and fandoms of a variety of different topics just because I love observing them and trying to understand them. Very rarely are there people who are immediately like, hello, nerd person, I'm so excited to see you. It doesn't happen very often. And that's the thing that I find I crave. I want that, right? I want that in that world where somebody is like, you're new to the community. Tell us about yourself. Let's hear from you. Let's see what brought you here. And I want to do that for people because I know that that's not very common. Let's see. Earl says, I agree. The factory is a warm and cozy place to be yourself. Audience says, welcome. Exactly. The reason I use Discord only for messaging one friend is because I didn't know about servers or any of the other features back then. Discord can be a confusing place, Dream Doofus. You're not entirely wrong. Like, I get it. So anyway, sorry. My rant's done. I apologize for that. Let's get back to the game. But yeah, so just know, like, hey, you're always welcome at any point to drop in and drop out. I'm never a person who also feels like you must be obligated to be here. You came to see me, right? That's why you're here. You're here to see me. I'm the point of this whole channel. No. That's not the case at all. That's not even remotely the case. In fact, look, I'm hiding myself behind a weird cardboard mask right now. This is a weird thing, right? No, I do this stuff. I do the streaming and things like this because I love talking to folks and sharing games with them. I love listening to them. I love hearing people enthuse. I love to be excited for people's excitement. When somebody has something that they're really ecstatic to hear about, or something that they're concerned about, or something that they're interested in but don't know too much about in terms of games, I love to bring people in and just say, like, look at all these things. You have this interest in this thing? Let's open it up. Let's open those doors. Let me show you this wonderful space, this wonderful world that exists in games. You want to get into this stuff? Like, here you go. You want to play Infocom games? I got 1 million. Here you go. Here's where to start. You want to go learn how to actually be like effective in an MMORPG and ignore the noise that's in that and play it in a way that's different and fascinating? I got that for you. You want to hear the weird obscure FMV games that exist in this world? Let me show you. Oh my gosh. June Dewis says, you can never hide your larger than life personality. It's true. And like, it's weird, right? Being a person who streams just games in general, there's always that weird connotation that, oh, that person is a content creator or a person who's trying to get something out of people. You know, there's a lot of folks out there that are trying to like milk money out of folks and like really take advantage of people, especially on the internet in general, right? And like, for me, and it's really weird because people will then make this assumption that my being stupid and silly, making this little thing, being like just really, really excited and enthusiastic about games must be some kind of show or must be some kind of ruse to get people, to get something out of people in some way. And that's not the case. There's so many folks who know me in real life who jump into this Discord that can attest that like, this is just how I am in general because I love games more than anything. But I'll never put those games on a pedestal. I'll never say that they're not without criticism or critique. Far from that. But I'm also coming from the perspective of when I criticize games or I talk about those things, I'm very much also acknowledge my own personal perspective. That I know that I am not an objective truth. That the things that I say are part of a subjective thing, a subjective world. But what's great about it is that we can then better understand how games are designed to cater to a variety of different people's playstyles and perspectives, so that you're just seeing another piece of a bigger puzzle. And I like to provide that for folks. I like to provide that because I love that stuff. That's my jam. I just love it so much. I'm sorry. We're gonna get back to the game. I'm off on a tangent because I'm feeling all happy. We looked at the card. It's a card from Arbo Maps and Antiques. Find goods by appointment only. The time scribbled at the bottom is 9 a.m. this morning. Looks like Brock's handwriting. There's also a tiny heart drawn in the corner. Well, I mean, we're fucked. Okay, so where's Arbo's? I have no idea where that place is. Let's see. I can't really see the map here. Floor tour. Card. Okay, just trying to see if there's anything else with this. Turn or remove O from soap dispenser. And the soap dispenser turns into a sap dispenser. It's the kind where a squeeze will dispense sap into the sink. Interesting. Look at trash. Nothing of any value. Get sap. We give the dispenser a squeeze. It deposits some sap in the sink, just viscous enough not to drain away instantly. Yeah, okay, so it's interesting. Okay, so what am I going to do with this? So I'm trying to find where Arbo Antiques are. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, so let's go west. And then, no, is it west? Northwest. West. West. South. There we go. Long Street North. We're jammed into the car. Yep. Sounds like a house kept with pneumonia. Long Street is lined on each side with a double row of tall, anemic palm trees that bend towards one another, many feet overhead. This corridor continues some considerable distance south. On the west side of the street is the several-story front of the Fleur d'Or Hotel. We can go north to the roundabout, south and west from here. The car's making an unpleasant raspy growl. Going south. Long Street is lined on each side with a double row of tall, anemic palm trees. We're now in the southern part of this long corridor between the Canadian Embassy and Arbo Maps and Antiques. Someone has left a shopping bag at the roadside, maybe by accident when loading up a car, maybe because they mean to come back for it. The shopping bag has in the shopping bag are a ball and a jigsaw. Get out. Let's see. Look at ball with monocle. Open backpack. Look at ball with monocle. Things happy. Look at jigsaw with monocle. Okay. Get bag. We get the shopping bag. The logo on the outside is from Landison's, a popular toy store in the island. It probably closed today, so this would have been bought earlier, possibly even as a present for Serial Comma Day. Okay. There's a large collection of vintage and antique maps under glass. The island of Atlantis as a whole, street maps of here and of Mayana, navigation maps of the harbor, and then maps of more distant places as well. A stylish mannequin near the front sports a pair of Britishizing goggles. Goggles. Overseeing all this is a woman named Kate. Welcome to Arbo, says Kate. Feel free to browse and ask me any questions you may have about the merchandise. Show card to Kate. Okay. Ask Kate. Ask if she has seen Brock. Have you seen a man maybe this morning about this height, dark hair with very blue eyes, kind of cocky? There's a light of recognition. Yes, he was in. A friend of my boss. He visited the shop and sold us a map he happened to have with him. Then they left together. I believe there was some discussion of seeing a demonstration. We could ask which map was sold. Ask what sort of demonstration. Ask what sort of... Reminded of how it started with Brock. Remember how it started with Brock. Ralph was sitting at the controls with you leaning over him. He pushed you away. Cut it out. I'm not available every time you decide to go slumming. It was a deep blue summer twilight. He was driving the yacht with one hand on the steering wheel and the other loosely in his lap. You turned to go. Then we're back in the present. Ooh. Ask what sort of demonstration? She smiles and shrugs. Mr. Arbo used to work for the Bureau before he retired to sell antiques. He still has lots of connections. It could be anything. Ask which map was sold. You mentioned that the gentleman sold you a map. Which one was it? It's just here, Kate says, going over to the selection and pointing out a map purporting to depict Slangovia, an unusual place. She glances sideways at us. Okay, map. It's a detailed street map pretending to correspond to some remote South African town called Slangovia. Cryptic icons dot the surface. There's a legend in the lower right corner that appears to be a separate piece glued on. Look at legend. This legend tells of Iphis and Eonth. Iphis, a girl raised in disguise as a boy, falls in love with her playmate Eonth. She prays to the goddess Isis, who takes pity and transforms Iphis into a man able to marry Eonth after all. It bears no obvious relation to the map of Slangovia. By map. I'll take the Slangovia map, we say. It's not every day you see something like this. Very good, she says. Too bad he didn't think to offer it to you directly. But just as well for us, I suppose. I take this to mean that Arbo is getting a big commission on the sale. Kate removes the map from its case and packs it up carefully for us. Get legend. We take the map of Slangovia. Ask if Brock seemed upset. Oh. Ask whether Brock seemed upset. Okay. We missed that chance, I guess. App. At legend. Remove legend. Okay, yeah, legend. We don't want to ruin it or the map. Okay. Look. Ask Kate about Brock. There's a chance our friend is in trouble. Did he seem to be in a hurry or concerned about anything? Not at all. He appeared eager to speak with Mr. Arvo, and they had plans together, but he didn't seem agitated. If anything, he seemed a little more worldly and collected than people in his line of work usually are. Cryptic. Perhaps he was posing as a researcher? But we can't very well ask, not if we're supposed to be a friend of his. Kate dabs absently at something on her shirt. A new shirt and a cup of hot coffee, Kate says ruefully. It always ends up this way. You have a fleeting thought of how it started with Brock. Remember how it started with Brock. Brock was sprawled out on the cushions with his sunglasses on, pretending not to see you. You stood so that your shadow crossed his face, and he had to look up. I've been a jerk, and I'm sorry, you said. I'm not the man whore of Babylon, he replied. I've had that odd fling, that's all. I know. I'm not James Bond here. You pulled your towel more tightly around you. I know. And you've lost the right ever to give me crap about women again, he said. Your teeth were starting to chatter. Yes. Okay, apology accepted. He lowered his sunglasses again. Then we're back in the present. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. So, now what? Okay, so we got the glue, right? Inventory. Okay, let's get out of here first. Look at legend with monocle. Look at map with monocle. Okay, glue with monocle. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? Let's go south. Let's go into the floor. lobby. The Fleur d'Or is a high-end hotel that serves businessmen and luxury tourists interested in the linguistic mechanisms of the island. As a result, it has all kinds of paid exemptions, including an exemption allowing it to operate under a foreign name. The spotlights in the ceiling light the floor in distinct pools of bureau blue, and a sheet of frosted glass etched with random letters separate the lobby from the drinks club to the west. There's no one at the glossy piano in the corner, though a piece has been left on the piano bench. Look at piece. Looks like a setting of the grammatical number of our enemy is singular. A popular music hall piece of the 1890s that still gets trotted out now and then. There are rousing choruses where the audience can join in to represent the enemy's sailors just prior to the encounter with the depluralizing cannon. Let's look at piece. Let's see. What would we do? Look at piece with monocle. Okay. Play piano. So play piano. We take our seat at the piano. We pick out some vaguely remembered commercial jingles from the play piece. Take several awkward goes, but we manage at least to pick out the tune. Okay. Remember cruise skill. A clean-lined, minimal room, but furnished expensively. Fresh cut tulips in a plain glass vase. High thread couch sheets. Vast pillows suitable for the hibernation of giants. The closets feature safes, which is excellent for someone in your line of work, because it tends to persuade guests that their computers are being protected when they go out. You were inside because you bribed a housekeeper and were gathering information from a businessman's laptop while the businessman himself was downstairs at the bar. But the bureau also had an agent, also posing as a housekeeper in the hotel, also up to the same purposes. The business with the minibar vodka was clever, I grant. And we're back in the present. Interesting. Okay. Trying to think about like what the piece would be turned into. Pick. Oh, okay. Remove E from piece. Oh my god, did I spell this wrong? Hold on. Inventory. The ball and the jigsaw. I'm curious about what those are in the end. Some toes and a wig. A ball, a clock, a funnel. Yeah. Remove E from piece. Oh, form. That's why. I misspelled it. We reset the device to E. There's a small of Ennies, and the piece turns into a pick. It's a snapshot of a happy family visiting Typo Land Fun Fair, the closest thing Anglophone Atlantis has to an amusement park. Form and from. Thank you. Okay, so let's go west into the club. The back wall is dramatically decorated with bottled liqueurs of all sorts, from gin, from Typo Land Fun Fair. Typo Land. Wouldn't you want to go to Typo Land, Audio Eric? I'd love to. It'd be a happy place. The back wall is dramatically decorated with bottled liquors of all sorts. Liqueurs. From gin to cachaca. There's a giant bottle of Campari, taller than your average 3-year-old, with a red ribbon around its neck. What makes this place technically a drinks club, rather than a bar, is its license to serve leather-manufactured food and drink. A toolkit on the bar contains some screwdrivers, some gimlets, and some rusty nails ready to be transformed into the respective cocktails. Let's see. Oh, screwdriver, gimlet, and rusty nails. Okay, I see. The bartender's in the middle of showing her homonym paddle to a patron holding a gin and tonic. The other patrons are scattered around the room at small tables, drinking or talking among themselves. She acknowledges us with a nod as you stroll up to the bar and get close enough to hear their conversation. It was originally produced as a toy, but it's actually a bit dangerous, the bartender's saying. With that correct spellings, you ought to be kicked out, right? Shame on you, Audio Eric. You said it there. You didn't have any improper spellings. Let's see. Various ways, she says. Suppose I hit a small object that has a big homonym, like say a plane, you know, the carpentry kind. Suddenly I've got an airplane-style plane on top of me. Interesting. Okay. Get paddle. We don't dare invade the personal space of the bartender. What if you hit something that doesn't mean anything else? The patron asks, like a chicken. Nothing, she says. That's safe. As though to demonstrate, she smacks the paddle against her left buttock. See? I don't get changed into a different bartender. Want to try? She holds up the paddle as though she's going to tap him with it. My name is Mark, he says. Maybe not then, she says, laughing brightly. Ask to see paddle. Okay. Ask for paddle. Tell me about the paddle, we say. This item, says the bartender, flourishing it for you to see, is a genuine licensed homonym paddle. Changes one form into another form as long as the two have identical names. Ask. That was a little dangerous, wasn't it? Mark asks. If you had tapped me with that thing, wouldn't I be a giant X on the carpet now? Not for long, the bartender says. I do have some restoration gel for emergencies, or I could just hit you again with a paddle. But there'd be an incident report, and I could lose my license, so yeah, better not. Listen. One of the customers comes up and asks the bartender about the toolkit, and the bartender explains what drinks they turn into. Look again. Okay. Campari, taller than an average 3-year-old. Okay, a bottle of Campari. Alright, that's not a thing. Toolkit. Interesting. Okay, so I need to turn the jigsaw into an actual jigsaw, right? That's what I need. So what could I do? The liquor collection. Oh, I can't do anything there. Oh, let's see. Toolkit. I don't really know what it is I have to do now. Like, I have this map, and they didn't go anywhere, right? Like, I didn't know where they went. Is there help? Hint. Let's go to hints. I just want to see. Oh, that's all. Never mind. Okay. Order some peanuts. Talk to Mark. We already have the attention of the bartender, not to mention the curiosity of Mark. Why? Ask to try paddle. Ask for paddle. Ask about drinks. Ask about toolkit. What do you think of this? We asked, pointing to the toolkit. She laughs. Do you want me to wreck this place? Yes. That was a rhetorical question. Who had the idea of hitting things to make them swap with their homonyms? I couldn't guess. Nonetheless, the toy, shaped like a ping-pong paddle and formed of coral-colored rubber, enjoyed a brief vogue in the 80s. To prevent that theft, the paddle's attached to the bartender's wrist by a thin steel cable and bracelet. Okay. What can we have that turn into? Okay. Remove B from cable. Okay. Remove D from paddle. Homonym pail. Let's see. What could I do? I don't know. I don't know what I can do there. Let's see. Let's just keep going east. Isn't language a curious thing? It is indeed, Audio Eric. I don't know. I'm going to go back here, I guess. Welcome back. Ask about... Oh, let's look at the mannequin. Yeah, look at mannequin. Head and torso only and abstractly rendered. The vaguely masculine shape is covered in coarse white linen. Look at goggles. An experimental prototype that, from the perspective of the viewer, adds U into words, ending in or, and reverses into RE wherever possible. Oh! Subjects wearing the Britishizing goggles generally begin to develop implausible accents and have better than usual success wooing American tourists. Otherwise, the goggles are not much use. Like my monocle, they don't affect the actual form of an object in any way. Surplus stock were mostly given away as rewards to supporters of public television, and the Bureau encouraged even recreational use in the 1980s as they began to make progress towards greater linguistic purity. Get goggles. Oh, buy goggles. Excellent choice, Kate assures us. They're the real thing, vintage made, not the plastic knockoffs that were all the rage in the 80s. Leather straps, brass fittings, top-grade lenses. Large number of bills later, and we're proud the owner of the goggles. And puts them to our face. Okay. Wow, okay, so I don't know. Let's see, drinks closer to the west. Look at... What would I do with the goggles, though? Like, I don't... Inventory. The ball. Decorated all over with patterned random letters and a different sportive fonts. Show ball the bartender. Check this out, we say, holding out the ball for inspection. We hold up the ball. Can you paddle this, we ask? The bartender laughs. It might be fun to have a big dance in here, but I think I'd get fired. Oh, show jigsaw to bartender. There it is. She shrugs good-naturedly, hits the jigsaw with the paddle, and grins at us. We look down at what we're holding. It's a portable power saw with the ability to slice right through wood or plastic. DeWalt cordless, if you're interested, with a massive battery. Mark looks thoughtfully into his gin and tonic. I hear that sometimes the Bureau turns people into inanimate objects as a criminal sentence. Is that true? For the first time, the bartender looks uncomfortable. I just poured the drinks, she says. Hey, you're almost out there. Let me give you a refill. And she busies herself getting down the Bombay Sapphire and refilling his drink. You ever tempted to paddle the Sapphire, Mark asks? Should be worth a lot. Alas, jewelers tend to check for authenticity around here, she replies. Think. Bartender. Got. Alright, so we have this thing now, this drill, right? Alright. Can we go up? There's no way upward. We can go to Long Street East. Okay. I still don't know what I'm going to do. Let's see. Go north of the docks. No, that's nothing that's going to get what I need. Okay, so let's go into the Bureau of Orthography. Let's see what happens. Echoing space, marble floor. I like skylight many meters above us. So far, the rotunda might belong to any 19th century government bureau of means and self-importance. What sets this one apart is the lettering. Each sigil is no bigger than a flea, carved over every inch. Dreamdiver says, I never thought to turn the jigsaw into an actual saw. Yes, that's what I thought. That's what my brain thought. What sets this one apart is the lettering. Each sigil no bigger than a flea, carved over every inch of the walls. Inscribed here is, in fact, the entire text of a new orthodox orthography, which means that if we had a great deal of patience and many rolls of butcher paper, we could take rubbings and wind up with our very own volume. We don't, of course. There are better things to do. More importantly, places to go. The administrative part of the Bureau is always to the south. Away to the south, and there's an exhibit of letter tools to the east, which is open to the public. Near the street entrance is a sizable information bulletin board advertising the services of the Bureau. And next to this, pushed back to be out of the way, is a bin. There's a shuttle in the bin. Oh, Look at shuttle. It's a wooden device that holds a quantity of yarn, allowing the user more easily to pass the thread back and forth while weaving. It's also a bit of a snarky joke on the Bureau's part. Atlantean land prices being what they are, the Bureau prefers not to have to build a parking garage. Instead, they have shuttles that an all-purpose officer with a hominid paddle can easily convert into a full-size vehicle for use, and back again for easy storage. The shuttles in their untransformed state are no earthly use to anyone else, of course, which is why they can be left around unsupervised. Well, I mean, we can get ourselves a hominid paddle right now. Show shuttle to bartender. Wait. Give shuttle. Oh, did I not take it? I didn't take it, damn it. Get shuttle. Show shuttle to bartender. If I paddled that, I'd break the whole bar. Besides, that's Bureau. Isn't that Bureau property? We shrug amiably. She gives a long admonitory stare, then goes back to what she's doing. Oh, damn it. Okay. It's late afternoon now. Jeez. Let's go east. The Tools and Techniques exhibit. This area, though technically part of the Bureau, is open to the public as a display of the tools, past and present, of orthographical dominance. Everything is, alas, behind glass. Over at one end of the room is a Regency version of your own letter remover, known as the Model T, because that is all it was originally able to remove. Next to that, there's an anagramming gun and an etymological reversing chamber. Look at anagramming gun. Anagramming guns are illegal now, of course, because of their desperately unpredictable behavior. This one is a huge heavy thing, though not quite an artillery piece, because of the colossal amount of power required and all the stabilizers needed to try to collapse the letters back down to a single phrase. Something makes you think of Brock's comment about anagramming. Remember Brock's comment? You and Brock were sitting at the galley table, Scrabble tiles in front of you. This is what I admired about you, he said, touching your foot with his. Most kids raised by fundamentalist parents wind up the same way themselves, or they go off the deep end the other way. You just rearrange the tiles you've been dealt. More than he realized, in fact, now that you've added my tiles to yours. Ooh. All right, let's see. Look at Model T. Still bears the maker's mark of one S. Moretsky. Whoa, the Regency era T remover is clumsy looking and too big to lift thanks to the coal boiler required to power it. Still bears the maker's mark of one S. Moretsky. S. Eric Moretsky, if you would. One Steve Moretsky. Look at what was the last thing? Reversing chamber. It looks like an iron lung, a large sealed chamber with extensive machinery surrounding it. It is able to make words run back to their linguistic roots, ape into appa, pearl into pearl, and so on. The machine is of little popular use and is principally applied by scholars under controlled circumstances, despite newspaper articles breathlessly proclaiming that the ERC will be able to produce the God language, mankind's original tongue. In practice, even the more modest research goals of rediscovering the vocabulary of Proto-Indo-European would require prohibitive amounts of power. As one moves further and further from forms that are familiar to modern speakers, the reification effect requires the reification effort required increases exponentially. Have a wonderful night, Audio Eric. It is, as always, a pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you for coming in. Me and my stupid Zork mask bids you a fond adieu. Let's see. Can I get the gun? I don't want to sound like I doubt your criminal credentials or whatever, but I doubt even you can successfully steal from the display case. Okay. So that's just giving us some information. So west is the south. Before approaching the secretary ahead, we try to hide all our illegal things in the backpack. Thank you for that, Gabe. The most important task of any government bureau is to keep away time wasters, irritants, and uninformed members of the general public who might distract the diligent workers within from their important tasks. The Bureau of Orthography is no different. An instructive notice details the criteria for entry to the bureau proper. Here to guard access to the rest of the building is a secretary on a tall stool. The secretary is carrying the regulation authentication scope and wearing a pencil skirt and a plain white top. We can go north of the rotunda and east from here. She turns her eyes towards us but doesn't say anything. We might ask whether she enjoys her job. If she enjoys her job. This must be a good job, we say, in our best making friendly conversation way. Getting to meet lots of new people, access to all the bureau toys. They never let me try any of the good equipment, she says with surprising bitterness. When they brought in the tea inserter, they let porcelain. Then she stops, her expression that of a guppy being strangled. Earl, as always, may your operating system be resilient and forever supported by admins everywhere. Thank you, Earl. I greatly appreciate it. Sound the trumpets. It's an internal sound card. That's why it's just the sound, the speaker, the computer speaker. Let's see. Ask who Porson is. Is it Porson? Porson works in the historical research room, she says. A job he got, I might add, through sheer nepotism. He's no more qualified than I am, but they say he has a job-related need to see all the new development first. Dream Doofus says, maybe his game will get a sequel or few. Right? Maybe. Just a couple. Let's see. Ask what the T inserter does. What does the T inserter do? We ask, as though we were a couple of yokels. She raises her eyebrows as though she cannot believe the phenomenal idiocy of this question. No answer is vouchsafed. Ask how she got this job. Through the usual process, she says, qualified through regional spelling bee, then was submitted to a battery of examinations, followed by a 3-year course of rigorous training. Ask about training. Okay. Look at sign. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at... Let's see. Notice. Please note that those wishing to enter must have a pass suitable for visitors, which must include an up-to-date photograph closely resembling the subject. Passes that do not look like their possessors will be rejected. Visitors will also need an additional proof of their business in the Bureau, such as a letter of invitation from a Bureau authority. All credentials will be subject to inspection with an authentication scope. Anyone attempting to enter the Bureau with a falsified pass or lack of proper credentials may be subject to fines and indefinite detention. Okay, what's in our inventory? We need a pass. So, let's see. Roll, no. Fall, no. Pair of Britishing goggles. Clock, a funnel, a jigsaw, a letter, a lime. I don't need a letter. Oh, that's right, okay. Let's see. A map of Slangovia. Some members, a pick, a shopping bag. Oh, okay. So, okay, shopping bag. No, that's nothing. A hopping bag, a shuttle, a stuffed octopus, some toes, and a wig. Let's see. What can I do to make a pass? Oh my goodness. Let's see. All right. And what does it say? All credentials will be subject to... Okay, so credentials. So this map has got to have something, right? Oh. Sorry, those with passes only, she says. Ask where to get a pass. Where did you say we might get a pass to visit the rest of the building? May I ask in my very polite schoolboy voice. Those with appropriately ranked academic research jobs are already in receipt of documentation, she replies. Okay. So we gotta go north. I have no idea what to do. Read bulletin board. What can your Bureau of Orthography do for you? Inquires the bulletin board in a sprightly casual font on a sheet labeled From Plumbing to Medicine and More. The bulletin board describes the tools available to the all-purpose officers, including the synthesizer for combining two-word objects into one, Q and Z inserters, most letters are still under development, and even specially licensed equipment capable of producing living creatures. For immigration and importation services, such as assigning Atlantean names to immigrants, neutralizing foreign language pets, and approving imported goods, we are encouraged to visit the customs house instead. A handwritten note is tacked up after this, which adds that the synthesizer is unavailable for public use through December 19th because it is on loan to the University Department of Language Studies. Hey, that's my department. Sakura, you were here. Okay. This is a synthesizer. Get note. Alright. Are you DOSBox? I'm an Apple II, Sakura. Look at this. Look at this. Look, there's an apple. There's an apple. I know my screen isn't green. I know. But I'm playing Zork on my computer. That's what I have of Zork. Okay. Let's see. How are you doing, Sakura, by the way? How did D&D go? I hope it went well. Alright, so I wonder if by doing that now we can go south more. No. Oh. Okay, so let's see. A dove flutters from from one surface to another. A shed. Look at shed with monocle. Backpack. At shed with monocle. Oh, of a shred. Use paste on. Use gel on shed. There's a torn rag end of cloth, is white and blue, and bears every evidence of having been part of an obligatory service uniform. Get shred. And that can turn into nothing that I can turn into, but shred is what it is. No, it'd be a dearth. We could change it backwards. A shred. It's a torn rag end of cloth. It's white and blue and bears every evidence I've been part of an obligatory service uniform. Use restoration gel? No. D&D went excellent. We got the money that was stolen from a casino that we were guarding back. Got paid. Was able to do some invisible teleporting monk shit. Good times. Awesome, Sakura. That's good to hear, my friend. Let's see. Look at dove. Dove? No. Okay. Is it a dove? What was it? Dove with a monocle. Get dove. We scoop the dove into our arms. Oh, okay. What could I do with a dove? Can't turn it into a doe. I wonder. Get zap. Okay, inventory. Let's see. what can we do? I don't know what the Britishizing goggles would do. Members, a pick. Ogles. That's not quite what it would be. Britishizing ogles. No, because that would be oles. Because you get rid of the G, it takes rid of the other two G's. Pick a shopping bag. A shuttle. A stuffed octopus. Some toes. Let's see. And a wig. Wear wig. Let's see. That collection, the D removed the flash drive and the origin paste are packed in the backpack. Get ball. Move B from ball. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, it's as an abstract. Because I can't replace anything. It's just a look at ball again. Pattern random letters in different sportive fonts. Look at letters. Oh. It's made of blue and white rubber. I have a saw, but I don't know what I would do with the saw. Look. There's a mirror. This thing contains some sap, but I need something to put the sap into. Look at graffiti. We glance over the range of messages from past documents and notice some wag has drawn an arrow pointing to the toilet and beside it, pee remover. Look at toilet. It's pretty clean. It's a pee remover. Let's see. Trash, get trash. Because I could turn that into something, right? A rash. Remove T from trash. A rash, a severed rash. Patch of skin, all red and itchy. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Stalls, okay. Yeah, I'm on the stalls. Look, the hole. So soap, sap, and then... Is there some way to make something plural? They turn the sap into pass, right? Shoot. I need like a glass or something. I need some kind of thing to carry something with. As. Look at as. Roman coin of very low denomination. Your knowledge, not mine. Should I ask you how to know such a thing? Is made of copper and has the letter SC stamped on one side. Look at as with monocle. What was it originally? Pasties. Pasties? Oh, hold on. Oh, how can I turn that into pass? So there's a T and an I. There. Use gel on as. acquired taste, but now that I've acquired it, I like to exercise the acquisition as frequently as possible. You're not be as big a fan, for which I apologize in advance. I don't remember having this. An anise flavored. Okay. I had the tea remover. Oh, remove tea from pastas. There's no word. Okay, so I'm wondering what I could do. Remove I from pastas. Okay, that's not going to be what I need. Sit zap. Was it Lena that gave you the coin? I don't remember. I really don't. So she gave me a coin. Okay. So that's liquor. So let's then go. Time is of the essence, right? We're in the show bartender. What do you make of this? We gotta show out the pasties. Don't get any of the passes on the merchandise as the bartender. We return the greeting. A whistle comes at the bar for directions to the nearest restroom. I don't know what to do with any of this stuff. The piano I can't turn into anything, right? Pio. Can't go that way. Diminutive wares. Map of island topography measured in 1910. Ask where they went. Ask Kate about Brock. Ask Kate about Arbo. So your boss used to work for the Bureau, but now he sells maps? And other items. Some of them are very difficult to source in Atlantis. Mr. Abbo has connections, we prompt. She doesn't disagree, but he does it, but doesn't elaborate either. Okay. Oh, connections. No clue. Okay, so go on. Typically these things are all self-contained, right? Nina's rolled down the shades to put up the close sign. What's in the trap door? The hinging mechanism is designed to keep the door closed if possible, perhaps as a safety feature so that people won't fall into an open hole. At hinge. Okay. Door to... Okay, I can't do anything with that. I have no idea. Let's see. At the docks. Look at woman. Tourist, okay. Poster? Huh. I don't know what to do. I don't have any clue. Like, they left, right? Where did they go? They didn't even really tell us. Look at legend. And I can't, like, remove the leaned isn't a thing. Can't remove, like, the glue. Like, I don't know what the legend is obviously like a clue to something, right? You would think. But to what? Like, Hold on. Show legend to bartender. This, she says, looking a little surprised. You want it converted? Why not? No reason, she says. Just, I did the same item a few hours ago for a gentleman really hot with these amazing eyes. Whatever you say, before she can get any more excited about Brock. She smirks, then she taps the legend with her paddle and transforms into a proper map legend. Look at legend. Here we go. The legend has been edited from its original form, replacing the words like hospital and restroom with other handwritten labels. Invite, got 11, out, T inserter, etc. By arranging the words of the legend in the order in which the icons appear along the main street, we get right, got invite, T inserter demonstration, out, 11 a.m. Of course, it's already long past 11 a.m., so Brock's plan clearly went wrong. If we're going to go after him, we'll have to go to the T inserter demonstration ourselves. The catch is that, as dangerous new technology is held inside the bureau and requires a special invitation to enter. Thinking of where we can get one, though, my advisor, Professor Waterstone, that's what we need. That's the person overseeing my graduate research. Was also invited to the demonstration. We might be able to get his. All right, now we're going to his job. Palm Square. Now this is my part of town. Palm Square is the beginning of the University District. To the southeast, through the Iron Gate, is the University campus proper. And that unobtrusive little doorway directly south of us leads into the Babel Cafe. The Babel Cafe. I live in the apartment complex that runs along the west side of the square. In fact, my apartment door is immediately to the southwest. You had me leave my keys behind, remember? But if you insist, my apartment is actually pitifully easy to break into. That window there opens into the bathroom. You can force it open from the outside without much effort. Open window. The window slides open with a hideous protesting shriek. Enter apartment. If you want to go into my apartment, we're going to have to climb in my window. Here, let me just streamline the process for us. Oh, you young person! It's my neighbor, Mrs. Parsnip. Leaning out from her apartment above us, Mrs. Parsnip and I don't interact except about once a month when she comes around to ask for my spare change for bus fare for the laundry. Clear off or I'll call the police. Apologize. Oh. No, don't worry, I'll handle this. I step us back and stare up at her. I'm a friend of Alex, I say. He called and asked me to stop by because he thought he left the stove on. Said he climbs in the window all the time when he gets locked out. That's true, she says. Shouldn't be allowed out by himself. Okay, go ahead. In a mutter, she adds, not like he has anything worth stealing anyways. She vanishes from view. The window is uncomfortably high and it takes a little scramble to get in, but soon we're inside. An antique nightstand of my mother's, which does not actually fit anywhere, near my bed, is jammed into one corner of the bathroom. There are a key and a ring in the nightstand. The bathroom window gives some weak sunlight. We could climb back out the window or we could go south into the rest of my apartment. Get key. Get key. And unlocks the apartment door. Alright, and then we can go south. I should point out my copy of The Problem of Adjectives. I should have taken it back to the library. I meant to take it back to the library, but there just wasn't time. The last couple of hours before I came to meet you were frantic. The way I figured it, my parents or someone will come looking for me, and they'll take it back for me, I think. I'd apologize for the mess, but should we really be here? I'm reconciled to leaving all my things behind, you know. You made me promise that. I didn't mind. Yo. Problems with adjectives. So we'll might as well return it to the department seminar room as long as we're going that way. Yeah. Okay, so north. We're about to when the door to the street opens and my mother walks into the room. She shuts it behind her and puts away her key before she notices us. Then she stands very still. For about a quarter second, she considers calling the police, but I can see that worry passing away again as she takes in our clothing, age, and general demeanor. Hi there, she says, coming forward to take her hand. I'm Mrs. Rosehip, Alex Rosehip's mother. You must be a friend of his. We are his girlfriend. Yes, sort of. We've been on a few dates. That's you and I have to say. You don't sound as keen on dating ourselves as you might. She raises her eyebrow. I see. How secretive of him not to bring you around. And where's Alex now? I need to speak up with him. He's been hard to reach lately. I know you think it's a bit sketchy that my mother just walks into my apartment when I'm not around, but I swear to you, she's never done that before. She must be more worried about something than she's letting on. Claim to have seen him this morning. He went out to do some research, I think. He left before I was completely awake. Thanks. Now you've given my mother the impression that I'm a cad. She looks at the disheveled futon, and her expression becomes even more unreadable. I did think I'd taught my son better manners, she remarks. I apologize on his behalf. Mother picks her way to the refrigerator, which she opens, revealing only some yogurt. Evidently not planning to have dinner at home this evening, she comments. Explain that we might go out. Oh. We were thinking of going out. Were you? She says lightly. Then you're definitely going to see him this evening. Where do you have reservations? There, see? I wish you wouldn't embellish on your own. He didn't say. He didn't tell me. I assume he'll explain later. She gives the refrigerator door a little push, and it swings closed. How well do you know him? Mother asks. She immediately catches herself and adds, I'm not inquiring into the details of your relationship, but I'm concerned about him. He has seemed very unhappy recently about his work. Has he said anything to you about that? Wanting to leave the program or change careers or anything? I didn't think she'd noticed. Reassure. I think it's graduate school getting to him a bit. We lie. I'm pretty sure this is what my mother thinks. She has little time for whining or sulking, and I believe she considers any ideological queasiness I may have exhibited to be just malingering about research that is not going well. Really? She says. I would like her to go on, but she doesn't, because it would be indiscreet, because she doesn't trust us. Mother stares absently at the apartment door for a moment. Well, Mother says, I'd better go. If you do see Alex, tell him to call me, please. It isn't an emergency, but you can tell him there's a bit of bureau business I'd like to discuss with him. We nod, and suddenly it is borne in on me that this may be the last I see of my mother in a lifetime, and I'm trying to memorize the exact cut of her hair and the way her expensive Italian heels tap on the floor, and meanwhile she's going out completely indifferent to the moment. I could have stood for our previous meeting to be the last one. We had dinner, and she hugged me goodbye then. This makes it all much worse. And you're nattering at me in our head, asking what she meant about the bureau. It might be, I guess, that they've been watching me and that she's got wind of it. That would be likely, but if so, it doesn't matter. Not anymore. She's not even visible through the window any longer. Oof. Oh, how do we get out? This is just volume 16, but I subscribed annually for a while. My whole plan is useless unless there's a well-designed language that actually takes account of economic reality in the target region. When I've moved somewhere outside Atlantis, it will be easier to conduct that part of the research. Interesting. I don't even know what research he does. Yeah, futon. Strictly speaking, more of a futon mattress. It doesn't have a frame. How? Remember, started Brock. Brock was scowling into his drink at the Café Marseille. I don't know, Andra. Are you going to flip on me again if we try to be together? I'm not blaming you for your parents, and honestly, I'm surprised how much you've been able to assemble yourself into someone new, but Jesus. What happened to your thing about how everyone goes through life hurting everyone else a little bit, like radiation, you asked? But mostly people heal and it's worth it. Yeah, that's true, he said, but you still don't go into the reactor core with no suit, if you see what I mean. You tilted your head. You weathered it pretty well when you and Annalisa split up. He swirled the melted ice in the bottom of his glass. Is that what you're fishing for, he said? For me to tell you you're special, you're different, I care about you more, and therefore it would ruin everything if we ever broke up? You didn't answer. It would ruin everything, he says, because you're on my crew. But as to the girlfriend thing, I have no idea. We don't know each other that way. And we're back in the present. Let's see. At fridge. Okay. Sorry. Kit studies. It's a little outside my field, but I have been trying to work out the feasibility of my plans from the perspective of language teaching. Okay, so how do we get out of here? The apartment. Oh, south. Okay, northeast. Palm Square is the beginning of the university district. Yep. Okay, cool. So, now we can go, what's it? South? Southeast. Oh, southeast of the Battle Cafe. Yeah. Through many changes of management, this institution has fed the denizens of the university and ignored their semi-sedition. A clerk in a white apron stands behind the long glass case. There are a pocket bread, a wrap, and a honey pastry triangle in the long glass case. Okay. Pocket bread. The tables are square wooden things painted dark blue, not the vibrant blue of the bureau, but something closer to midnight. And the upper surfaces are decoupaged with antique travel postcards. A blue plaque is mounted on the wall. The clerk grins us in a welcoming way. Read plaque. On this side, in 1969, the theoretical groundwork for Q insertion was laid by James Elias and Milford Higgete, using 5 drinking straws and a bowl of oatmeal. Let's see. Buy bread. Wrap. Wrap would be. It was an anagram. No, nothing. Buy bread. Buy wrap. Buy pastry. You just cleaned us out. Get all. Get pastry. Okay. Get wrap. Yeah, good. Pastry would be. No, nothing there. I see. I'm trying to like figure this stuff out, like what it could be. Look at postcards. The surfaces depict fragmented such exotic locations as Giza, Beijing, and Sioux City, Iowa. There's even an advertisement for the 1893 Chicago's World Fair. Interesting. Okay. North, southeast. We lack a key that fits into the iron gate to the university. Okay. Gate. No. Let's see. What can I do to that? The campus as a whole is walled and gated because of the amount of linguistic research that happens inside. This is a very lightweight form of security, more symbolic than anything. That's much more significant protections on the really powerful materials. I have the student ring that opens the back of my apartment. I thought I had this. Didn't I get it? Use key on gate. Okay. Let's see. Get ring. I thought I got this. We take the ring, a gold tone ring that from a distance would look like a signet. In fact, the face of it is figured with the symbol of the university, an owl biting the letter A in its beak. Embedded in his face is the tiny RFID tag that opens generic university security. It is the perfect combination of technical paranoia and old-fashioned pretentiousness, and one is assigned to every new student with great pomp on the day of orientation. I didn't realize that. I thought I got it because I thought that the ring was like a key ring with the ring in it. All right. We unlock the sturdy iron gate. We open the sturdy iron gate. This is the center of the university, a broad grassy oval shaded with sycamore trees and surrounded by buildings in brick or white stone. An activist is standing in our way, gripping a sign that says toxic waste awareness. Immediately south of here is the building where I spend most of my time, Samuel Johnson Hall. You have a minute to help save the environment, the activist says brightly. Say yes. Wonderful. She beams. She sets down the sign in order to free her hands for more expressive argument. Listen, we're trying to gain financial support to make a major advertising campaign pushing the concept of toxic waste throughout the Anglophone world. If you know anything about linguistic efficacy, I'm sure you can imagine the implications. I can, in fact, imagine the implications, probably a little better than she would like. Encourage activist. Oh, we say neutrally? This is all it takes. Toxic waste would be, in concept, a completely harmless, safe, and neutral substance that would have no detrimental impact on the surrounding environment. By raising awareness of toxic waste throughout the Anglophone world, we would put the collective consciousness to work for the environment. It would then be possible to volunteer workers to convert large stocks of dangerous, toxic waste into the safe, neutral, toxic waste using minimal energy. I'm inclined to ask how consciousness will be raised, or ask how the campaign will address problems of visualization. Ask how the campaign will address problems of visualization. Studies have shown that linguistic efficacy is drastically harder to achieve when the body of speakers does not have a consensus about how to visualize the object in question. We point out, settling into our element, I've had so many undergraduates with ideas just like this one, all eager to tell me how they're going to change the world. I suppose I have exactly the same problem, only on a grander scale. My comment seems to have gotten her a little lost, though, so I add, people need to have some image to attach to the term you're inventing for them. Otherwise, it'll be much harder to achieve functional awareness levels. Oh, yes, I left that part out, she says. Our ad campaign will include extensive imagery of what we envision toxic waste to look like. That is, a clear, odorless liquid. We could ask how consciousness will be raised. Let's see. Ask whether the liquid will also be flavorless. Will it be flavorless too, you ask? I didn't come up with this one. Huh? I think you go on maliciously. The toxic waste should have a catchy flavor, maybe spearmint. The furrow between her brows deepens as she tries to work out whether we are joking, and if so, what response would be appropriate. Finally, she settles for it. The ads are going to be on TV, so it's hard to show any flavors on television. She touches our arm. The next few months are critical to our operation, the activist says. We need to be able to blitz multiple countries simultaneously with an intense and outrageous advertising campaign that will garner further media coverage from news sources and provoke discussion on the internet and in the workplace. But in order to do that, we need the funding to place high-profile advertisements in a variety of places. That's why donations from people like yourself are going to be so very necessary. Donate. Or you're not seriously going to... Oh God, you are. You know this is never going to work. There are sound scientific reasons why. Oh, fine. We hand over some of our money. I guess I should console myself that it is yours to the girl. Thanks, she says brightly, tucking the bill into her pocket. She gives a little skip and heads off across the oval to accost some other innocent. You just enriched some random television network, you understand. That money won't do a lick of good to anyone else. I know. But maybe she'll vouch for us in a time of need. Have a good night, Dream Doofus. Thank you so much, and thank you for the compliment, my friend. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. All right. South, here's the building with the scent most of the time. Oh, yeah, get the sign. The sign is bright yellow and says Toxic Waste Awareness. Okay. Let's see. Let's go south. This is the main building for language studies. This is not to be confused with language engineering, which is the department that handles devices for the manipulation of language objects. It is also not to be confused with linguistics, English literature, or comparative literature, all of which have their own buildings and faculties. Language studies applies itself to questions of linguistic efficacy chiefly at a social and anthropological level. That's to say that we study how the ability to change things based on their names affects daily life and society. The department office, with several professional offices leading off of it, is to the southeast. To the southwest is the seminar room, where many of the upper-level courses occur, and which also contains the department library. Downstairs is the basement, where the graduate students and junior instructors are kept. On the wall hangs a framed photograph of Professor Waterstone with the words Shapley Chair in big letters underneath. The photograph. The Shapley Chair is not named after the famous suffragette Philidia Shapley, but after her considerably less famous or interesting descendant, Lawrence Shapley, who was well placed within Dental Consonants Ltd. when it started up and subsequently had buckets of money with which to endow university chairs. Nonetheless, this position is of a point of considerable pride for Professor Waterstone and gets him many invitations to speak both here and abroad, which he takes terribly seriously. More to the point, the government permits him to attend. This may explain the particularly expensive grin on Waterstone's face in his image. Usually his pleasure is expressed more moderately. Oh, okay. Try to get the photograph. Let's see. What do we got? Okay, so southwest. The offices lead southeast. To the southwest is the seminar room. Oh, southwest. We got it. Okay, we don't have the key for the seminar room. Southeast. This corner office was won in a battle. Oh, sorry. This big, slightly drab area holds such useful objects as the mailboxes and the secretary's computer. On ordinary days, the secretary would be in as well, presiding over affairs. The offices of individual professors lie north and west. The department printer also sits on the U-shaped desk. Okay. This corner office was won in a battle of wills with several other departments during the most recent rebuilding drive. Professor Waterstone is fond of reminding the others that he was the one to obtain this favorable position whenever there's a disagreement about procedure. Printer. The network printer handles output for all the computers in the department. The indicator light glows red to indicate that the paper drawer is empty. The printer is currently switched on. The paper drawer is closed. There's nothing in the output tray. Open drawer. It's empty. Okay. Let's look. So north. Waterstone's office. A very finicky, neatly arranged room in which one never feels quite at home. Professor Waterstone is sitting here. Waterstone is my dissertation advisor. He insists on the O spelling. The dissertation. He is an expert in the history of linguistics and orthographical power, but he's politically kind of reactionary. Don't meddle is pretty much his motto. We can see an invitation on a desk. It's from Dental Consonants Limited. Their design of stationery is unmistakable. In front of Professor Waterstone is a small laptop. He looks up at us gravely. I don't believe we've met, he says. Can I help you? I'd like to make up some excuse. Ask whether he met the activists or why is he working on serial comedy. Met the activists. Did you run into those activists outside? Sadly, it's our misfortune constantly to encounter people with no concept of what language manipulation can and cannot do, Waterstone says. He really seems to be in a bad mood today, even for him. Maybe a fight with a wife or a nasty letter from the dean? My response would be to ask why he's working on serial. Ask why he's working. This big... Oh, why are you working... why are you in today, we ask. Isn't it a holiday? The pursuit of knowledge does not occur according to the calendar, he says. Then he adds, and my wife is having the carpet shampooed and kicked me out of the house. There's a brief pause. Look, I really must work on this, says Waterstone, chasing us to the door. Perhaps someone else in the department can answer.
Want some rah?
TKK, of course you do. Thank you, my friend. Sorry, this has been a wild. I apologize if I bored you to tears with my constant monologuing. I believe I saw Professor Higate earlier, and Professor Brown is usually in his lab downstairs. I'm sure he's not working on anything too urgent. Goodbye. The office door closes with measured firmness behind us. Through the window in Waterstone's door, we can see him turning the lock. When he catches us watching, he gives a tight, unfriendly smile and goes back to his desk. A moment later, the printer whirs thoughtfully. Oh, so he tried to... Official inventor says, I was listening to the audio and suddenly that appeared. Out of nowhere, right? Let's see. Okay, so we need to put paper in it. So, look at mailboxes. Slots for all the professors and graduate students. Undergraduates, of course, are too insignificant to be assigned mailboxes and are not allowed to have mail delivered to their apartments. Okay. Look at computer. One of the many beige boxes hooked into the university's main system. The secretary's computer is currently switched off. Turn on secretary computer. Oh, password. I don't know. Let's see. So West. Higate's office. Higate got about 30% finished with a stylish decorating scheme and then got distracted, leaving everything in an unsettled state. A few of her books are arranged on a very nice rosewood bookshelf, which looks Asian, and is ornamented with small figurines. All the rest of her library is stacked higgledy-piggledy in plastic cartons. Professor Higate is sitting at an oval table, on which are spread an ugly yellow book, a sugar bowl, a teapot, and a romance novel in some heavily accented language. Higate is the second reader on my dissertation committee and a conlang expert, that is, constructed languages. It was a seminar with her that really got me thinking about utopian linguistics, and she's been very supportive though cautious. She and Professor Waterstone don't always get along that well. She looks up when we come in. Je do sebangul lojban, Higate asks. She's asking whether we speak lojban for the present. I think it will raise fewer questions if we say no. No. I'm afraid I don't understand, we say, smiling faintly. Her face falls. I was hoping you'd be here for conversational lojban tea. The room is conspicuously lacking other lojban conversationalists. Ask how Higate is doing. How are you? We ask. Forgive me these irrelevant questions, but I haven't seen Professor Higate for a few days, and she's one of my favorite people in the department. I worry about her a little. She looks taken aback, as though trying to figure out whether she knows us. Then she shrugs us off and decides to proceed, as though she does. Oh, you know, she says, it's that time of year when the energies run out, and the students have to be prodded with an electric rod to get them to do any work. And then I've got this book I've got to write, and Professor Waterstone keeps talking about how next year he would like to take a break from being Director of Graduate Studies. Ask what would be so bad. What would be so bad about being Director of Graduate Studies, I ask, a little surprised. I always thought she liked graduate studies. Nothing. It's just that I have this book I should be writing, and Professor Waterstone has done the job for so many years that he's... She pulls up short, apparently remembering that she doesn't actually know us at all. He's very experienced, and I'm not sure he would enjoy watching someone else do it differently. She concludes tactfully. Our personal styles are not very similar. There's a brief pause. I'd offer you some cucumber sandwiches, Professor Higate says, but I'm afraid I ate them all. Ooh, needed water. Ooh, man. All this talking. We could ask whether she might let us into the language study seminar room. Ask if I might return a book. They recently redid the room. Oh, sorry. I need to return this book to the department library, we say, holding out the problem of adjectives. Oh, yes, all right, she says. Did you like it? It's a good overview of the subject, don't you think? I'm afraid the author once annoyed Professor Waterstone at a conference, or we might have had her around to speak at one of our colloquial... Higate stands, patting herself down as though worried she has forgotten something. After you, says Higate. It's just... Inventor didn't know. It wasn't a full box. It's just a plate. Of course it is. Man, I'd be sweating like a pig if it was a full box helmet. Oh my goodness. It'd be a smarter idea. It would be easier, right? But no, I decided to just cut out the cardboard. I was wondering how you weren't sweating. I know, right? It's surprisingly, I'm not sweating right now. I'm happy about that, at least. So at least my inconvenience of making this out of like one piece of cardboard versus the just taking the box and putting it on my head paid off. Let's see. what did she say here? Where was I? Hikate stands, patting herself down as though worried she'd forgotten something. After you, says Hikate. I assume it's safe to leave for a minute. If anyone is coming for Lojban tea, we'll see them in the hall. Let's all stop and look at what's important here. What? Okay, this little thing? This is not important. Psh, it's just me wearing a stupid cardboard mask that's made to be an Apple II computer screen playing Zork. It's even... Real talk. My copy of Zork, it has this right here. 696969 is 3 of the number 69. You know, TKK. One of the best numbers. One of the best numbers of all time. Now, you could have gone, right? You could have gone like, we're in this cardboard mask stream. Damn it. You did. It's true. You earned it. Not only this, though, I believe I'm going to consult here. We actually also owe a wonderful, to take a side step here, right, from my conversation about this game. We do also owe a CPU versus CPU tournament. One of the things that I do on stream from time to time is run fighting game tournaments where chat people get to use channel points to endorse a fighter that's their person, right? As they root for CPUs fighting off against each other and place channel point bets. And we're doing that in the next coming weeks. I've got to get that down. I don't remember exactly when I'm going to be able to do this regularly. It's going to be a continuing event because these things typically take the whole month. Where I do it like once a week. And it's for this game called Asuka 120%, which is a Sega Saturn fighting game featuring, it's an all-girls school fighting game. It isn't perverse, it isn't creepy and weird, but it is actually a fantastic fighting game to watch. Put the stretch goals together in such a hurry, I keep forgetting about that. And John Wick, you've got that John Wick TKK. You're a dead ringer, my friend. And we'll be running one of those as one of the final stretch goals for this charity month. So it's going to be organized and set up probably starting next week-ish. I'll be talking with TKK and of course the event organizers and stuff like this for this. It's really worth watching. It is so much fun. It's surprisingly more fun than you would possibly think. A lot of times folks look at these things and be like, what, watching computers fight? What do you mean? One, the computers do strange, stupid things, but they also do stuff that is kind of like their thing. Each character has kind of their thing. You start to pick up on these behaviors. It creates this weird narrative. And then there are these moments where you see like these clear-cut leaders and can there be upsets? And we give awards to different fighters for being like a disruptive force award. That character who's not doing very well, there's always one. They're always doing really poorly, but they'll always like take out the top dog for some reason. And those are always the disruptive force awards. They always go to those certain people. And we have the Thomas Hawk Award, which goes to the most losingest person. The Thomas Hawk Award is just my favorite. Shout out to T-Hawk from Street Fighter 2. He was unwinnable. He was unable to win any fight when we did our Street Fighter 2 tournament. And we've honored his horrible loss with the Eternal Thomas Hawk Award. And narratives just pop up when we watch these things play. And folks get to bet with channel points just for the hell of it. Doesn't go to anything. It's not like anything serious, but it's a lot of fun. And I dig that so much. There's we started off with doing it with like Super Baseball Simulator. It's so much fun. I think there's a StarCraft Brood War tournament that features custom-made CPU bots. I think interesting official inventor. There's a game on the Super Nintendo called Super Baseball Simulator 1000. And that's where I started playing that. And it's insane. The CPU does some of the dumbest and most mind-boggling things and a lot of weird glitchy things that just don't make a lick of sense. Like they'll throw to first base and there's no one at first base. And it's just so fun to watch that stuff and just sit there and stare, wide-eyed and agape at the nonsense that happens. But you can also create custom teams. And so I'm thinking about maybe doing a season of that with custom teams too sometime later this year. We'll see. Anyway, so that was something to look forward to in the future. My brain. Sorry. Let's continue with this madness. TKK. I am watching you. The computer. The computer sees all. my weird. I look at this on my OBS and I look like a freak. Like, what the hell is wrong with me right now? Like, what is wrong with me? This stupid thing. All right, it's like one of those weird things that like you go into this channel and you're all of a sudden like, is this like somebody's sex thing? Is this just what they? Is this their thing? Is this their kink? Dressing up like a computer with a mask and looking weird and. And the answer to that is yes. Anyway, sorry. Alright. After you, says Higate, I assume it's safe to leave for a minute. If anyone is coming for logement tea, we'll see them in a hall. She walks past us through the office doors. We walk a little behind Higate, who has a very long, businesslike stride despite her heels. She fiddles with her keys for a moment before finding the right one. Here you go, she says, pushing the door open. The recently redid this room, the language studies seminar room, and whoever picked the decorations had postmodern tastes. Professor Higate waits a little absent-mindedly nearby, looking over the bookshelf. There are histories of the Standard Revolution and lives of the lexicographers on the bookshelf. A massive plexiglass case takes up one corner of the room. There's a synthesizer in the plexiglass case. The big table at the center of the room is an irregular polygon, with one chair pushed up to the shortest side. I think the shape is intended to undermine traditional conceptions of academic hierarchy, but in practice it just means that whoever gets the seminar late has to sit with a table angle, jabbing him in the stomach. We want to ask which conlang she knows. Ask, wow, conlang she knows. Esperanto, Volapuk, Lojban, naturally, she says. Interlingual, a bit of Fukyan. She's careful to pronounce the H sound. See? Quenya, Klingon, Royaship, Tokipona, and several others in which I'm not fluent enough to speak, but know well enough for the purpose of study. Cool. Alright, look at chair. Made locally and found around the islands. We're going to look at bookshelves. Oops, at shelf. Tokipon. Oh, I don't even know what that is. When I first dropped in from the Discord, I was like, oh, that's a whole screen. This is the correct place. Indeed. How are you doing, by the way? Man, let me tell you, there's also some stuff that I do too, which I really hope to get back into at some point. I have a virtual bedroom. Like, I have a virtual space that's a bedroom where you hook up TVs and systems to TVs, and it simulates the red, green, blue grill patterns on the TV when you zoom in on it, and it simulates that like perfectly. It's wild, and you get to you get little cartridges, you get to put things into it and like put them into the TV, and I want to go into that stuff too. Like, there was a moment where there's folks who get kind of uppity about real hardware. I can't stand that nonsense. Like, I'm not a person who's like, I must play on real hardware to validate something or to make a more authentic experience. But when I go into the virtual bedroom, there's a lot of folks who look at that stuff and be like, whoa, I thought this was just a camera pointed at a TV. And I was playing a text adventure on there, and a person comes in and it's like, oh, real hardware? And I was like, no, it's actually more than the exact opposite. It is an emulator that has emulators in it. It's an emulation of an emulation. And the guy got so mad at me. And he's just like, well, you know what? I guess I'm just going to have to fuck off then. Like, he was so mad about it. Like, and I was just like, okay. He's like, you're not worth my time because you're not using real hardware. And I was just like, okay, no, that's fine. Like, he was all of a sudden like just so upset. All of a sudden he was like, oh, right, yeah, real hardware, cool. And I was like, no, it's not. Okay, bro, go off, I guess. And he was just like, yeah, like, I don't understand why you people do this stuff. This doesn't make a lick of sense. And it's like, yeah, man, it's just video games, dude. It's just video games, man. It's not important. It's not. I'm sorry. I love video games so much, but it's not important. All right, let's see. Return book. Take a moment to find the proper place for the book. The sound of discussion comes from down the hall, two voices speaking the Lojban, and then a male voice interrupting. Do you have a license for this conversation? It asks. Excuse me, Higate says. I'd better go see to that. She waves and heads back northeast. So why do we need this thing? Look at the synthesizer. It's designed to skip 2 items and then be turned on. It is a shiny and white and looks a little like a bathtub for very short people. In the synthesizer is a crossword. It was a full-size human version of this that made us what we are now. So the object makes both of us feel a little skittish and self-conscious. What's in our inventory? So we have arm, asparagus. Oh my god, we have so many things. An arm ball, a dove, a funnel, a jigsaw, a key, a letter, a lime, map of Sangovia, a May, some members, a pesties, a pick, pocket bread, a rash, a ring, a shopping bag, a shred, a shuttle, a sign, a stuffed octopus, some toes, a wig, and a wrap. Huh. No clue. Look at shelf. Lives of lexicographers. Okay. A roll. I wonder if I'm still missing something. So let's go east. Oh. And then down. Samuel Johnson basement. Dank and malodorous. There are no windows down here, and the drainage is terrible. The stairs up are here. The lecture room at the east, immediately south, is the graduate student office, and southwest is Professor Brown's office. The most interesting of all is the small door west, trying to look inconspicuous but locked with a key card. Oh, I need a card. Our car was a card. So the department stores this most dangerous licensed equipment. A large open carton stands against the wall right between Brown's lab door and interesting door recycling, reads the sign over the carton. Place your lab created items here for processing. In the large carton is a banana. Okay. Just beginning to get brown and spotty. Look at banana with monocle. A bandana. Use paste on banana. Oops. Use gel on banana. The banana becomes a bandana. It's a souvenir, bright Atlantean blue cloth patterned with the letter F and a patch in one corner with the letters FRG, honoring the members of the Fricatives Research Group. Get patch. Okay. Okay. So recycling uses the sign over the carton. Okay. So west. Lecture rooms to the east. The main lecture hall used for the large survey courses and language studies offered to undergraduates. I sat through courses here when I was an undergraduate myself, and have now delivered a few lectures as a teaching assistant. The Fricatives Research Group. This game, I swear. So tell me what that means. I do not get that reference. Tell me what is a fricative? What does that mean? and have now delivered a few lectures as a teaching assistant. The room extends south, full of hard wooden seats. Abandoned on one near the back is a coat. A poster at the front of the room announces a conference on cultural reactions to linguistics change. It is being held in Nice the day after tomorrow, with Professor Waterstone as keynote speaker, on the topic of homonym shame. Somehow I'd forgotten about the date of this. I've been too worried about our escape. Look at coat. It's been abandoned here for a while, since this isn't the time of year when people wear coats. It's brown cloth, only thick enough to keep out a rain or a mild chill, and it's rubbed shiny at the elbows. Get coat. Many are the fine hours I've spent here dozing, and many are the students of mine who have done the same. The circle of life becomes complete. The room extends north, full of hardwood seats. What happened here? Oh, among the seats. I see. Fricative is a sound like F, S, the sh, the k, and lock. So there's an entire research group for a specific kind of lingual sound. Oh, okay. Interesting. Someone has taped to the wall a course advertisement for next quarter, inviting interested undergraduates to enroll in Interlingual 101, probably Professor Higate's work. We take the coat. Search coat. In pockets. Okay. Inventory. Coat. Turn it to a cot. Remove A from coat. Portable made for sleeping. The cot is too awkward for us to carry and falls onto the floor. It reminded of how it started to remember Brock. Brock had tied your wrist to the headboard and your left ankle to the corner of the bed. He had a thesaurus open and was writing with a paintbrush across. Oh my god. Okay, ready? Gotta get sensual here. Need a drink of water for the sensuality. This is sexy. Alright. Brock has tied your wrists to the headboard and your left ankle to the corner of the bed. He had a thesaurus open and was writing with a paintbrush across your stomach. Floozy? He asked. You giggled as he painted the word above your navel, smiling, giving the Y a big, flourishing curlicue. Sorry. Let's see, what else? Fornicator? You drew in your breath sharply, remembering an angry lesson read from the lectern. Okay, he said, not that one yet, and licked away the F he'd begun to paint. Then we're back in the present. Oh my god. Oh, I can turn it into I can't turn it into a living thing. Use paste. Use gel on cot. Get coat. Look at advertisement. In a smaller type beneath, Interlingua se basa a parolas internacional preponderantemente de origine latin que ha supervivite a nostre dies e que existe en italiano, español, portugués, francés e inglés, lenguas de referencia plus germano e ruso como reserva. La gramática del interlingua es un racionalizate synthesis de gramáticas de referencia. And then as a final tagline, Interlingua is the modern Latin. Get advertisement. It's been stuck to the wall with so much tape that we probably couldn't remove it without tearing it. Okay. Let's see. Get poster. Let's fix the place. Look at poster. It's the usual sort of thing. The conference title set in papyrus font, a stock daguerreotype of a portly woman holding a letter remover the size of a policeman's cosh. Inset pictures of the major speakers with pride of place for Waterstone himself. Okay, so now we go southwest. Professor Brown, the reification of abstracts researcher, is hunched over his work table. Let's see. Official inventor says, I'm very happy that conlangs get a mention in this game. I was wondering how powerful those could be in a world like this. Indeed. I have a question for you, official inventor. Do you know that there is... Sorry, this is one I always have to reference every single time that it's ever brought up, because, of course, Esperanto being a conlang. There's this weird thing. I learned about this game. It was a massively multiplayer online children's puzzle platformer called Castle Infinity. It was made in the mid 90s, like 96, 97. And it was a game about finding out that the dinosaurs survived the extinction. They had made a portal to another dimension to save themselves. And we discover this portal, and we go there, and they are captured by this evil entity, and we have to help save them by solving puzzles. But it also teaches you Esperanto in the process. Like, you learn Esperanto words, and it's all these things. It's just really, really weird and interesting. And it's weird because the guy who created and designed this game, he originally wrote choose your own adventure style books set in the Super Mario universe, like officially. And it's just really weird. It's just a weird connection there. So like, yeah, the guy who made this thing, because I do a podcast where I talk about books based off of video games. We've had a big hiatus, but there's going to be more eventually. And we had talked about this, and I knew about this game for a long time. It's a dead MMO. There's a private server that's out there, but it's nobody. The last like active person's been online like 3,000 days ago. And I was on there just recently because I was thinking about it again, because I think about it regularly. And we're reading these Mario books, and I was just like looking up the author and doing research. I'm like, wait a second, he doesn't pop up when I Google him, but this other guy does. Who's this guy? And it's like, oh, he's the guy who made Castle Infinity. Like, oh my god! And he used a pen name for those books, and I was like, that's amazing. Anyway, sorry, weird divergent talk. Professor Brown, the reification of abstracts researcher, is hunched over his work table. Brown is only barely a professor at all. Actually, his working title is senior lecturer, and he holds a yearly contract which the university has the option to renew at whim. This prevents him going elsewhere while ensuring that he never has a fully funded lab of his own. All the electrical equipment down here is tinker toys compared to the stuff he really wants. In fact, half of it he built himself with components he bought with his own money. I know all this because Brown cornered me in the hallway one afternoon and talked to me for 20 minutes straight about the pressures of academic job hunting in the current political climate. I tried to get him to stop, but he's like a wind-up toy. Don't touch anything, please, he says without looking up. I know I'm a wind-up toy, too. Ask what he is doing. What are you up to, we ask. Asking Brown questions when he's working is a bit of a crapshoot, I tell you now. He wiggles his nose back and forth. I knew him for 3 months before I figured out what the wiggle is. It's his hands-free way of working his spectacles back up his nose when they start to slide down. Without looking at us, he says, I'm getting ready to do a new calibration run on love. This is a favorite of his, because you can get it so easily from a glove, so the materials are inexpensive. We could ask what love looks like, or ask how Professor Brown makes abstracts. Ask how Professor Brown makes abstracts. What equipment do you use to make your abstracts, we ask. It's an ordinary letter remover with a few adjustments, Brown says. The department's computer can lift some of the legal overrides on standard letter tools. The job would be easier if I had access to higher powered machinery, but... Ask whether he can fix the letter remover. Could you fix my letter remover to make abstract objects as well? It's not difficult, you just... Oh, stay here. I'm not supposed to bring students into the rectification room. He takes the letter remover and steps out into the hallway. I can hear him using his key card on the door, going into the little room west of the hallway, doing something there. Don't bother thinking we're going to cosh him and take the key card. I'm sure there's a better way, and I don't cosh people. He comes back in a minute. Oh my god, that was my game controller just falling out of my desk. That was scary. there, he says, should be abstract enabled now. I'm inclined to ask what he thinks of the letter remover, or thank Professor Brown. That's wonderful, thank you. Yes, well, he says, don't show it to anyone. Technically, you shouldn't have that. What he thinks of the letter remover. Is there anything else that could be done to upgrade my letter remover? We ask naively. Nothing I can help you with, I'm afraid, he says. There are some safety overrides that could be programmed out, allowing you to make living creatures, but that's... He does a spasmodic shrug. One of those things where I think the laws have a point. It's dangerous and possibly even cruel. Ask why reifying living creatures is cruel. We don't know whether such creations have awareness and sensations like other creatures, he says. If they do, it is horrible to bring them into existence only to send them out again. Cool. Alright, so... Oops, northwest. So now we can make abstracts. How does that work? Dove to doe is a living thing. Lime, Look at pick with monocle. I don't remember of a piece. Oh, that's right. We changed the piece to a pick. Look at pick. Okay. I'm looking at what we could use this for. Assign, okay. Interesting. I don't know. Okay. I wonder what I could use it for. So remove C from chair. A single strand about a foot long of blonde hair. Inventory. Ooh, hold on. We can make a hairpiece. Let's see. Gel, use gel on pick. Put hair and piece in. What is the thing called again? Synthesizer. Oh, open case. Like a key that fits in the plexiglass case. Okay, so we can't get into that yet. Hold on. West. Let's see. Where's our car? West. Look at car. Oh. The car is parked nearby. Okay. Use gel on car. Is it charred? All right, and then we get remove H from charred. When the card gives away to card. This time it's strength. A young nude lady lounges in the embrace of a giant squid. They're apparently on very good terms. Oh my. That's not, oh, because now we can make a key card. Right. Oops. Get card. South. Southeast. South. West. West. There it is. Oh, I can't make anything with it though. I need the lock. I need the key. Okay. Southeast. Okay. Need paper. Look at desk. Open drawer. Yeah, cat printer. I need paper. Okay. Pastry could be pasty. Remove R from pastry. Triangles. Okay, triangle is the thing that is. Oh, I see. Okay, this is removing the R from all of it. Look at saw. Jigsaw. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, whoops. We opened the door to find two students, a boy and a girl sitting at Hickaday's table. The boy is sipping tea and the girl's paging madly through the Lojban book. Oh, says Hickaday. You found what you needed, I hope. I'm afraid I'm busy now. Okay. So, how do we get out of here? North and west. So, south? No. Northwest. Use jigsaw on case. We try can drive it. Oh, a screwdriver. Oh, a screwdriver. Oh, there's in the make screwdrivers for this. All right, so northeast, north, west. Sorry. West, north, north. Oh, yeah. Ask for screwdriver. We order a screwdriver. Mark talks with the bartender about the weather in Atlantis. Mark sips his gin and tonic, and there's time to see to our order. The bartender fishes around in the toolkit for a screwdriver and sets it on the bar with a flourish. Mark is watching this transaction in an interested way. This is good, says the bartender, winking at us both all. You'll like this. She raises the hominum paddle unnecessarily high in the air and smashes it down hard on the screwdriver. There's a crackling discharge of purple-toned lightning, and in place of the screwdriver, a cocktail of the same name now sits on the bar. A few of the customers applaud. Just the way you're imagining, guaranteed. Alright, so now... Okay. Show screwdriver. Don't get any of the screwdriver on the merchandise, says the bartender. Okay. How do I turn that back now? Shit. Hardly the grandest of cocktails, but it'll do. There's so many things. There's so many things going on right now. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Talk to clerk. Say hi. Ask clerk about black. What do you think of this? We asked, pointing at the blue black clerk. She said, okay. No. Oh, sorry. Ask bartender about screwdriver. Return screwdriver. No. Okay. Look at toolkit. Order gimlet. Let's see. And Aaron hits it with a paddle. Order rusty nails. I'll have the rusty nail if you don't mind, you say, for an appropriate bill. This time she lays the paddle down on the bar and drops the rusty nail onto its surface. The purple lightning ball obscures the rusty nail for a moment, then recedes to reveal the cocktail. You can't order anymore, she says after that. You've seen all my tricks, and I hate to have to cut people off at 3. Alright, well, I don't know. I wonder if Pinot. Move A from piano. Okay. I have all this stuff in my inventory. I have no idea what to do with it all. Canadian Embassy, okay. I have so many things. Oops. Lecture hall, no. Show. Ask Brown about paddle. No. Talk to Brown. Abstracts. How do we... What can I turn this into an abstract here? The ring turns into a rig, a whole collection of lighting units on poles and stands. The rig is currently switched off. Turn on rig. Rig. Lighting units, okay. For the ring. Didn't they say oatmeal is a thing? Remove C from coat. An oat. Turns into an oat. Okay. Card. Okay, yeah. People, okay. Funnel is fuel. Hair turns into air. Remove H from hair. It's hard to see. The air becomes indistinguishable from all the air around us. Use gel on air. Oh no, I got rid of the hair. Oh shit. Let's see. Move T from letter. Letter turns into a leer. It's a good-humored, slightly drunk kind of leer, but it's unmistakable. Huh. Okay. Abstracts. Remove M from lime. Lime turns into a lie. It changes from moment to moment. Currently it reads, Alex has no qualms about Andra's moral fiber. Huh, awkward item, isn't it? Make a nice conversation piece for the home. Set it on the mantelpiece and watch it gossip about your guests. Interesting, okay. Let's see. Reset the device to G. With a distinct whiff of sulfur, the sign turns into a sin, an abstract representation of willfully clueless meddling. Not a sin known to Dante, perhaps, but modern democracies have their own forms of wrongdoing. We are right now causing lots of mischief here. Bag. Okay. Huh. Okay. I'm getting too deep into weird, like abstract manipulations of these things. Huh. I have no idea. No clue. Alright, let's save my game. I gotta call it a night. Abstracts. Let's go see who's out there. Let's go find someone to raid. Who's out there tonight? Let's see. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate it, man. Let's see who's on right now. Let's go say hello to somebody. Good night, Sakura. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's see who's on right now. Oh, my good friend Keyglyph is playing games. We're saying hi to Keyglyph. Am I rating the person? Yes, perfect. My good friend Keyglyph is playing Harvest Moon, so let's go say hi to them. They're my internet bestie. They're my bestest of friends. I'm Jess/Joey on the Discord, for what it's worth. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Yes. We got you. No worries. Thank you so much, my friend. All right, everybody. I'll be back again soon. We're going to continue this. Will probably be this tomorrow night, maybe. We'll see what happens. Have a good night, everybody. And as always, to humor. Farewell.